Apunga, you can turn your webcam on, but just, hush for a second, okay, gosh. Hello, governors.
All right, now we're good. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Production value. What's up, Kaplau? How you doing, babe?
Special shout-outs to Kaplau
Special
for these
shout-outs.
insane visuals. We have leveled up. We're really out here. Shout-outs to Kaplau. Great guy. Really love him.
Yeah, we really love Kaplau, though. No one else. Because, I don't know. Kind of tiring to love so much people,
So, want to start? I want to hear some news, Cheese. You want to hear what's going on in the world?
Tell me. Hit me with it. What's going on?
We got a Super Metroid any percent world record 41:19 by Zoast.
When did this
3
happen?
days ago. 3 days ago, according to Speedrun Reddit.
41:19. I thought it was... Okay. I thought it was actually lower than that.
Really?
It's pretty interesting.
Here, let me check really quick.
So
Maybe there's been another one.
How far is he ahead now of second place and third place?
One moment. I can get that data for you. Let me just, let's pull some strings here real quick. We got, oh yeah. One sec. So Zoast is in first. Oh, it says 41:23. The time hasn't been updated yet. But second place, Behemoth 41:33, and Oats and Goats with a 41:56.
What?
Cop Power
That's
42:20.
crazy. Wow.
Yeah, dude. They're all really close, but I mean, when it's 41 minutes, I guess that's still pretty far for some of them. But Behemoth, I wonder if this PB's 3 months ago. Oats and Goats PB's a year ago. Dang. Anyway, yeah, that's Super Metroid news. Cool stuff. It looks like Shaden Nidiaz is back on Super Mario Odyssey grind. He just got 4 days ago. He got a Super Mario Odyssey any percent world record 103.58. Then 1 day ago he got 103.47. So I'm guessing that he took a break to do 2-player in any percent, but I guess he's back now. So our boy Nicrovita is gonna.
Nicrovita, what is Nigro's PB right now?
I'll peep that 1 sec.
Because you told me that he PB. You told me he PB like 2 days ago or something.
Yeah, he got a 104.19.
Oh, okay.
Well,
1 second PB.
Let's take a look.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nitro got the 1 through. Oh wait, apparently, Possessed Rabbit is giving us a new update. Nitro apparently got 103 as well. 103.59.
Oh yeah. So Shaden has 103.47. Nicro has 103.59. And then third place is Susaiga with a 104.32, and then Valu with a 104.50. Zaya's got a 105.02. I think Zaya, last time I checked, he has the best sum of best in Odyssey.
Really?
Could be wrong about that. He did have it, but it might be different now. I don't know. We'll see. But that's pretty cool. Of course, Mr. Llama got the any percent world record for Diablo 2 any percent normal mode for Sorcerer. Shoutouts to him. Beat it by like a minute, 117.50 something. The world record was a low 119. Yeah. But he said that he said that like a 113 would be a really good run. So I'm sure he'll be back for that to improve it at some point. But now he's going for hardcore any percent assassin. I believe that's what he's doing now.
Super
and
we just
yeah,
we decided on the show recently, and he was talking about how the ridiculous RNG and stuff. And then we started watching his stream a lot, and then I missed his world record, which I'm sad about, but that's super awesome.
Carl Jobst got Depot 00 Agent Untied world record in GoldenEye. That's pretty hype. Still getting untied world records in that game. That was 6 days ago.
What was the time?
46. I mean, I don't know what that means at all, but I'm sure it's really good. Game's been being played into the ground for so long. Got a couple more notable things here. Gymnast got a 103.30 in Wind Waker HD any percent new world record 1 day ago. Dude, that time is getting so low. It's blowing my mind.
Yeah, Wind Waker has been going through crazy. Like every like a month, I just see this new trick in Wind Waker saving like 10 minutes. I mean, that's good. That's speedrunning.
or more.
It's just improving. That's good shit.
I love how the HD version of the game is so much more broken than the normal version. That's pretty funny. One more notable. There's a lot of good stuff that's happened recently, but last thing I'll say: new Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy world record 144. Who's this by?
Bennett Foddy?
Get
What is that?
in over it.
Okay.
Loch Ness. I've never heard of this guy, but he got a 144. Dude, that's crazy. When I was playing that game, the world record was like, well, I didn't speedrun it, but the world record was, they were going for sub 2, and now they're at 144.
I saw Distortion gets up too. That was sick.
Yeah. I bet they can cut the 130. He'll get it soon. That game is crazy, dude. There's a lot of room for optimization in that game. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, I want to try that game. It's torturing.
Yeah.
I have lots of
anyway.
allergies today. Bear with me in chat. I'm gonna be sniffling a lot today.
That's okay.
But all right. So, shall we get into it?
Tell us what's happening. Who's our guest? What are we talking about?
Today we have a very special guest. This man is he's a legend among men. He's
he's the most beautiful man you've ever seen.
Yeah, he's the most beautiful man, and he has the locks of an angel, Goldilocks. No, he's one of our best friends, and I think you guys would enjoy hearing from him. He's none other than the mighty myth and legend, the Puncayshun.
Punkay Jones.
Let's welcome Puncayshun. How you doing, babe?
Hi.
Hey,
what is that? What is that welcome? Kind of over the top, I guess.
Dude, it's crazy good. We love you too much. We had to do it. So how you doing, Punkay?
Babe?
I mean, I got out of bed not even an hour ago, and I've already down like 3 shots. So
you've downed 3 shots.
It was Simply's idea, dude. I was like, sure, why not? I have some more in the glass here if I want to take it.
Yeah, last week. So I invited Punkay to the podcast last week, and he's like, "Well, what if I don't have anything to talk about, or what if I don't say very much?" I was like, "Well, if you really want, you can take a couple shots. That'll loosen you up a little bit." And so he took the advice, I guess. So Punkay's a little lit right now.
I'm not that lit. I'm sure I'll be fine.
We'll get nothing but the
destroyed. Truth. All right. So 1 second.
So we'll be talking about mastering a speed game. That's going to be like the core topic, I guess. Sticking with a game. How do you stay interested in the same game for so long, kind of thing. But before we get into that, I think we should do the same thing we do with all our guests. Mm-hmm. Give us a little bit of history. What's the history of Punkay? What's the history of your Twitch? How did it start? Let us in.
Where did the name Puncayshun come from? Actually, I think people.
You don't know that?
I know what it is. I know what it is, but people in chat want to know.
Yeah, but we acting like that. You sound like you don't even know.
No, I do. I remember. I do. I swear.
I'm not drunk as shit. All right. The origin of my name. There is a person. I don't talk to this person anymore, but I used to talk to this person on Skype all the time, and I don't know why they did this, but they misspelled punctuation on purpose. That is exactly what my name is, and I was like, all right, that for whatever reason, I'm just going to create a Twitch account with this name, and I don't think I had any plans that I was actually going to like stream on that account and stick with it, but that's what ended up happening. That's the origin of my name, just misspelling from an old Skype friend, really.
I think it's a pretty good name. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, it's unique. I like it.
Agreed.
However, when people like mispronounce my name all the time, it's like slightly triggering.
Puncayshun.
Yeah, I got like Puncayshun, all sorts of different.
Asian. They think you're Asian. I actually did think you were Asian the first time. Because
really?
Yeah, when I heard your name without seeing how it was spelled, I was like, is he Asian or something? Because they were like, hey,
the whole punk Asian thing was a hot meme, and some people thought I was Asian because of it.
Nice. Okay, so apart from your name, tell us about your speedrunning history. Where did you find out about speedrunning? When did you start?
I actually found out about SM64 speedrunning through my brother, who introduced me to Giano, who, you know, anyone who knows old school SM64 runners, he was like old school as fuck. And yeah, just I started watching his stream because my brother introduced him to me, and I just like watched the game, and I was like, this movement looks so cool, it looks so interesting. So I picked up the game on emulator, and I was speedrunning this game for like a year to like a year and a half on emulator, and then I finally switched to N64 because like if you stick to emulator, people aren't going to take you very seriously. And I'm glad I switched because emulator just sucks. I mean, maybe it'd be fine if you start up with it, but if you're going to take the game seriously, definitely switch to N64.
Right. Okay, and you started when? January of
early or mid to late January 2012.
Wow.
So I've actually been around. I started like over 6 years ago.
That's crazy.
Got quite the history.
I know you started. Well, you did a lot of dabble a lot in what's the game called? Star Road, Super Mario Star Road, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I don't remember exactly why I played that for a while. I never saw myself like speedrunning a ROM hack. I think it's because I was going to switch to N64 and it just took me a while to get a console and all that. So in the meantime, I was just doing that, and I just stuck with it for a while. But I don't really regret my time spent on that game. Like if you're going to speedrun a ROM hack, I feel like it's pretty solid.
That's the same thing that happened to me when I didn't have a TV for 2 months and I was playing on emulator. I also started Star Road. I learned like half of it, and then I got the TV, so I just stopped after that. I went straight to N64.
You learned Star Road?
Yeah, I actually learned like most of Star Road, yeah. And I never
imagine if you did speedruns of that game too, and you like bopped me.
That'd be fun. I think it would be fun if I did that.
Dude, that game's got so many dumb things in it though. There's so many invisible walls. Like that's just what comes with a ROM hack.
ROM hacks are like that.
Or you just get stuck somewhere. Like you can just get stuck. It's great.
Right.
But it's probably one of the most well-made ROM hacks.
Yeah.
It's got the most content.
I'm still waiting for Star Road 2, but it's going to be like 2030 until we get it.
Yeah, dude. I thought that was going to come out like any day.
Which game?
He was showing videos of it on YouTube. The guy who made Star Road had like a demo of Star Road 2. But he didn't really show how much stuff was in it. Like it was just one level.
I think he's been working on other things, so it's taking so long.
Juice Manrick with the 4 times.
Welcome back to the fridge, babe.
Appreciate the love. Okay,
Welcome back to the Cyclops Society.
Okay, so Star Road 2012. You started in 2012.
Star Road?
When did
I wasn't running that. I wasn't running that game until like 2013 and 2014.
Okay, all right.
Did you run it for a whole year, or was it like on and off in 2013, 2014?
On and off for Star Road?
Yeah.
I actually, I don't know how long I spent on that. I think it was only like a month or two, wasn't it?
Oh, really? Okay, I thought it was a lot longer.
It wasn't.
But wait, you had the world record, did you, for a little while?
I got the 20. I think it was 20 star. There was a short category. I'm pretty sure it was 20 star. I got the world record in that, and I got the 80 star world record.
Right, that was pretty fast. So, how would you describe your improvement rate? I guess when you started playing Mario 64.
But before you started speedrunning, I was probably the fastest improver. Like it wasn't anything super crazy, but I would definitely say it was above average.
Okay. So in your process of improving, did you really know?
Process of improving.
Yeah, like when you started playing, right, in 2012, especially in 2012, when those days speedrunning was like, it was so much smaller than now, and it didn't have much resources or anything. When you started playing, did you really know what you were doing when you started? Did you know you felt like you had a good understanding of how to like start playing? Did you know how to practice properly, or how did you start practicing? There weren't any codes then to like practice, like game chart codes.
Well, there were an emulator, like because I played on emulator, you could save stage shit.
Oh well, yeah.
So I still had good practice. Just back in the day, you didn't have good practice on console.
All right.
But when I started, I probably didn't have it. It's so long ago. It's like hard to remember everything. But like, I probably didn't have it was my first time speedrunning something, so I doubt I had like a really good understanding. I mean,
Yeah, that's
what
natural.
what I would do is I would just look at gameplay from runners around my skill level, and I would learn from them. I wouldn't look at videos from like the very top level because I think I just thought that if I learned stuff from the top runners, like the movement just might be too difficult for me.
Yeah.
So one player I definitely remember learning stuff from. He's named Sea Fox. He quit the game a long time ago.
Rip.
I'm pretty sure that he did some like Donkey Kong 64 speedrunning or something.
Yeah, I know who he is. I
I,
remember watching him for Donkey Kong.
yeah, he's fairly old school, but I remember just looking at his like he had like a 55 or 54 PB, a 70 star, and I learned I just like looked at his strats and movement, and I learned some stuff from him.
Okay.
I guess I should also add that the first like year and a half of speedrunning or so, I basically didn't do 120 star. Like the reason it took me so long to do 120 star is because I hated the idea of swimming. Like I didn't want to do Dire Docks and JRB. And I mean I think JRB is alright, but Dire Docks can just
Suck on a
suck
clock.
off. Suck on a clock, yeah.
I mean, I know there's quite a few people who do, like Zaya, I think. It's a good example who feel the same way. They don't do 120 because they just
Yeah.
hate that.
I'm pretty sure he hates swimming too, yeah.
They don't like how dragged on it is.
JRB is not bad. Like JRB,
It really is, yeah.
There's some cool stuff in JRB, but DDD is just like a whole lot of it is way too. It's mind numbing.
Yeah,
It's just it's not a level that's designed well. Like literally like most of the stars, you just swim through a tunnel and then you do something at the other side that's not very challenging. You get a star. It's just stupid.
Yeah, but it's funny that we talk about some in Mario 64, but then there are games like Zelda, where it's like, or SMS, where it's like a 10-minute intro, and it's like much more. I think it would be much more painful to sit through that kind of stuff than just going through DDD. At least you're playing the game, going through a stage.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about resets, I feel like obviously a game like Ocarina of Time has a longer intro, but it feels less reset heavy. Like SM64 is super reset heavy.
Right.
So like even though the intro is less than a minute, you see it a fuckload. Probably less than like Ocarina of Time. So it kind of balances out in a way is what I'm trying to say.
To be fair, SM64 doesn't have to be that reset heavy. We kind of make it that way, but we can get that more into, we can get into detail about that stuff later on. Okay, so shall we get right into the main aspect of mastering speedrun? Should we start? You have any questions?
I got some more personal questions. Let's talk about those locks. How long have you been growing your hair out, sir? It's looking pretty nice.
A long ass time.
Last haircut.
I mean, it was your sister gave me a trim. Remember?
Okay.
Unless you're talking about something besides a trim.
Yeah, like last time you got your hair cut short.
Damn, Puncay getting it down with Simply Sister.
Late December 2015. I remember this.
God damn.
So basically like a little over 2 years with like one trim. That's why it's this length.
Do you just want to keep growing it forever?
Yeah,
I don't know.
What's the plan here?
Sometimes I really want to cut it because it like gets in the way and shit.
You ever play with it?
Play with it? I don't really like touching it very much. Maybe if I knew my hands were like really clean, but
Let's
you
clean
know how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And anyone who's like, any dude who's like thinking about growing it out, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Just an FYI, because like, if you're going to grow it out, you want to take care of it, like use conditioner and all that shit, and like avoid using heat as much as you can. But it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Like sometimes it's such a pain in the ass. I just feel like cutting it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Maybe I'll eventually do that, but right now, I'm just gonna keep it.
Okay. My thing about hair, like hair length, the thing that ruins it for me when my hair gets too long is, well, I start turning into an afro, but that's fine. That's fine. The thing that I don't like is when you take a shower, it takes way longer to dry your hair. Like how
it
long
does.
I mean, I know you blow dry, but like it's a process. How do you overcome it?
I actually don't blow dry it when I'm at home.
Oh.
The reason I don't blow dry it is because blow drying is like damaging. You want to like try and limit that as much as you can. And when I'm just chilling at home, like no one else is even really looking at me, so I just air dry it. But the air drying process takes it's like 3 hours or something until it's done. It's a long time.
Do you give it like a scrub, like a quick rub down with the towel, or you just come out that shower and start dripping everywhere?
If you actually like rub your hair with the towel, that can cause quite a bit of frizz, so I don't do that either.
Wow. So you're just dripping.
I mean, pretty much, yeah, but I don't really care. It's not like it's getting all over the carpet.
But is there any sort of drying whatsoever? Just like dabbing in the towel at least?
I mean, if I have to leave somewhere soon, then of course I'm gonna like. Right. What I would probably do is I'm probably just gonna like dab my hair with the towel and then just like blow dry it the rest.
Okay.
But if I'm not going anywhere, I just air dry it.
Just tripping on the floor, leaving these watermarks in the house. All right.
Yeah, God doesn't even care.
All right. What else can you tell us about yourself, Funky, before we get into the Mario talk?
I see your shirt. You like music? Do you like metal?
Yeah,
don't listen to the band in my shirt. Their music is made for people who are not loved by their parents.
Jesus.
They're very angry. Jokes aside, I like metal, aka angry people music. The band on my shirt, as you can see, you probably can't fucking read the logo.
I have no clue what it says.
Usually
I have no idea.
Usually, if you can't read the fucking logo, the band is pretty heavy. So this is one of those. This is one of those my parents hate me bands.
When did you start listening to music, or was that just like your whole life kind of thing?
It definitely not my whole life. I first started I'm pretty sure I started listening to metal before I even got into speedrunning. So probably like 2011 or so. I think the very first band that I listened to is called Disharmonia Mundi, and they're like a Swedish melodic death metal band. They're pretty good. I actually showed you their music before.
Yeah, I probably heard it.
So what did you used to listen to before metal?
Before I got into metal, I would actually listen to like some punk rock. Like I would listen to Sex Pistols and Dead Kennedys, and I still like some of that music. But pretty much when I got into metal, like that's mostly what I've been listening to ever since.
That's pretty good.
Was it like I feel like metal's so I don't know what the word is. Not offensive, but it's very
edgy.
Yeah, it's very like I feel like you like it or you don't. I although I'm kind of in the middle.
Couldn't you say that about like any music genre though? Like you either like it or you don't.
I feel like there's some really non-offensive music, like lo-fi hip hop is like ambient music, like you can't really hate it. I feel like, but with metal,
what exactly do you mean by offensive?
Yeah, what do you mean by offensive? I'm kind of confused.
Like it's really loud, very abrasive.
So
that's yeah.
You mean like obnoxious?
I guess that's a word for it. That's not polarizing. That's a good word for it. It's very out there, I guess. But my question about it is, when you first heard it, were you like, yes? Were you like headbanging right away, or was it a process? Did you have to let it sink in?
I wasn't headbanging, but I listened to Disharmonia Mundi, and I was just like, this sounds good. I like the vocals. I like the guitar. I just like how it sounds. So I just started listening to more stuff. Like from there, like I've recently been listening to like some old school death metal, like like Bolter, Morbid Angel, pretty good bands.
I know about Morbid Angel. They're pretty deep.
You know about them?
Yeah. No, I mean I've listened to lots of metal. There was a few years ago, me and my brother used to listen to pretty hardcore stuff. We started listening to bands like Meshuggah, and there's a band called Amon Amarth, or is it Amon Amarth? I think it's Amon Amarth. They're also a
Aren't they
Swedish.
melodic death
Yeah,
metal?
melodic death metal. I don't know if they're Swedish or Norwegian.
I haven't really checked
One of
them
those. It's melodic Greek god kind of death metal kind of thing. You know, this thing about all the Greek gods, and everything is about the Zeus's. They have songs that are called like Zeus's lightning and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's very but the music itself is cool. It's really melodic, and the drums are awesome. I love the drums in that kind of music. But everything else is kind of whatever.
Whenever I listen to metal, I just feel like the hardest part is the drums.
It's insane.
If from someone who doesn't play any instruments and you just like look at how the instruments are played, the metal drums seems hard as fuck.
You need to like literally stretch many times a day and exercise to be able to move your body that fast without getting so tired so quickly. I couldn't do it. I tried doing metal for a bit. It was way too hard. Takes too much training.
The vocals too.
You probably could have done it if you just put more time into it, but like if you don't really care about the genre, then that's fine.
How do you rate the album in the Nightside Eclipse? Have you heard that?
I haven't listened to the whole album, but as far as black metal goes, from what I've heard from the album, it sounds pretty good. I've had it on my computer for so long, and that's like it's probably considered one of the best black metal albums out there. I should definitely listen to the whole thing, but from what I've heard, it was pretty good.
I actually saw a documentary about black metal with my brother like 4 years ago.
Some of them are like fucking crazy and like actual Satanists and shit, and like burning shit down.
No, I was about to say that. Yeah, the documentary is literally about black metal and the satanic overview of it. Like they were talking about people who like would commit suicide in their own bands to celebrate this kind of like thing they had with the black metal you know. And I actually saw a video of like one of the guys, they would cut themselves and get the blood and use the blood to like, it's crazy, right?
Some of them are really edgy.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the black metal band Mayhem?
Yes, I've heard them. I don't know the music, no, but I know of them.
You know about the whole like suicide thing, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
What is it?
They talked about it in the documentary.
One of the guys basically committed suicide, and before he committed suicide, he like left a note, and the note said something like "Sorry for the blood, cheers." And the band members found his body, and they literally used his like dead body as like an album cover.
Oh my god! Wait, what's the album called? What's the album called?
I don't remember, but the band is called Mayhem, so you could like probably look it up.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Some metal bands are just too edgy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god, dude! Dawn of the Black Hearts, is that it? By Mayhem. It's a picture of a guy with his head blown out.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my god!
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you want to see? Should I post this? Well, I can't. Post
Don't post it in chat.
Damn, dude, that's god.
Some metal bands are just too edgy.
Oh my goodness.
That's insanity.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
When it reaches that point, it's like actual like mental illness.
Yeah. That's when you're like, you need help. Seek help, please.
I mean, it's a drawing. That's not his actual picture, is it?
It's his actual picture, dude.
They just put filters on it. It's what it looks like to me.
That's crazy.
The guy actually commits suicide, and the band members actually they like took a picture of his body and put it on an album cover. That actually happened. It's not a drawing.
Interesting. All right. Well, that was something to see.
Yeah, God.
Right. Well, no, but yeah, I mean, I've seen that documentary, and I mean, I guess that's why a lot of people like make fun of metal. There's a lot of people that used to make fun of me all the time. Like they just found out that I would listen to rock music, not even metal, but they think like all rock is metal and satanic and stupid, and it's just.
Dude, my parents listen to this just like it's like cheesy rock music. can never get into that.
Yeah.
My parents actually like Nickelback, just an FYI. They're pretty awful.
I mean, I'm open to all suggestions and types of music. Once it has good melody and good vibe to it, I'm pretty good. All right.
Dude, I don't know the hate on. I don't understand the hate on Nickelback. I like some of their songs. I like
me
Photograph.
too. They're
I
not
like
bad.
Rockstar.
You like Rockstar? No.
I mean, I don't listen to it like often, but if I hear it, I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah,
I can
it's
jam.
vibesy, you know. You could jam with it.
But
I mean,
we'll
at
get
the end of the day, music's subjective, and I really dislike Nickelback, but if you like them, then whatever. You like your own shit.
That's okay.
You like
Nothing
you
wrong
like
with
Lil
that.
Pump though. You like Lil Pump though, right?
He's the best.
I guess.
Slap them with some butter. Oh.
His music is weird. It's just he looks weird as a person. The way he acts is weird. His music is weird. His lyrics make absolutely no sense.
So he's a great artist, basically.
If it's like a GDQ event and everyone's like drinking in a hotel room, I can get down with Lil Pump, I guess. But otherwise, I'd probably not listen to him.
Nice.
It's that turn up music. That's what he's meant for, man. When you're lit like a wick and you're trying to dance, you got to throw the Gucci Gang on and get it popping.
The Gucci Gang dance.
All right, I have one more question. I think we're ready to get into it. You went to a metal concert that was like in the summer, right? So was that this summer?
November last year, so not summer.
Yeah, who was there? How was that? Tell us about that experience.
Let's see. The bands were Black Dahlia Murder, which is one of my favorite bands easily. Suffocation was with them, which is an old school death metal band. Their first albums are probably considered one of the best death metal albums out there. I've heard most of their first one is called. It has like effigy in the name. I forget the whole name. I heard some Pierce from Within. I mean, I like it. The other bands were like, there's a band called Warm Witch, and when I got there, they were nearly done. I think they're like kind of a black metal sound, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who was after them. It was either Necrot, which is like
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. I'll eat Taco Bell. Mom is Taco Bell. All right. After Wormwitch, it was either a Necrot or the Zenith Passage. I don't remember. The Necrot is like, they're basically like a newer band, but they play death metal, kind of an old school vibe, I guess.
Okay.
And the Zenith Passage is just like a tech death band, like technical death metal.
Okay.
I like tech death quite a bit.
Tech death. What is that about?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Technical death metal is exactly how it sounds. But like,
I don't know how it sounds.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to imagine.
Yeah, I don't really know.
You could just like.
Is it just
go to
complicated?
It's more technical than normal death metal. I don't know what you want me to say.
Is it about like
If you go to Google and search like necrophagus, for example, you would know. Like there's like just these like it just sounds technical, and it just has like all these guitar solos and shit.
Yeah, okay, so it's a lot like progressive or like gent music. Is pretty technical. Just that, but death metal.
I guess you can put it that way.
All right, cool.
But as for like the experience of the show, I actually really enjoyed it. But I live in fucking Kentucky, and like metal bands almost never go here. Like whenever I look at the Facebook pages of some of the bands that I really like, and they post like shows, and they pretty much never go to Kentucky. Usually the closest option is Illinois, and like I looked at one of the recent shows for one of the bands. It was actually I think it was Black Dahlia Murder doing a tour with Aversion's Crown and some other bands. I really like Aversion's Crown too, so I'd love to see them in Black Dahlia Murder. But I looked at the closest show and it's like fucking 5 hours away, and it just sucks. Like sometimes metal bands go to like Kentucky, which is why I went to that one show. It was literally like 20 minutes away from my house.
Dude, you were on the edge though. You were like, should I go? And then I was like, you gotta go, Pancake. You gotta see your loved ones.
I'm actually glad that I did go. I feel like if I didn't go, I would have regretted it, because it was only like 20 minutes away, and it's one of my favorite bands. How could I not go?
Yeah, dude. It's like it's like I said, if Lil Pump was 20 minutes away, of course I'm there. You know I'm there.
Dude,
I can just imagine just simply going to like a live like Lil Pump show, and he's just like throwing down in the pit or something.
That's exactly what happened.
He's like swinging his arms around, wrecking people.
Dude, that's what happened.
Did he actually go to the mosh pit?
Yeah, dude, I always go for the mosh pits. They're super fun. They're kind of scary. There's like a thrill to it. There wasn't really any mosh pits at the Lil Pump concert. I went to an XXX concert. You know, fuck that guy, dude.
Yeah.
That the mosh pits there were like every single song. There was a huge mosh pit, and people were getting bodied. It's scary. You're like mostly fine, but if you fall down, you kind of get bopped. But people are really nice about like picking people up. They help people out. Did you see that at all?
When I went to that show, I didn't really go in the mosh pit, because like this is my first show, and I just don't feel like getting bodied. Like I'm not a strong person. I'm weak as fuck. I would be like easy as fuck to like just like knock down or something in the mosh pit. And I was just like, you know what? I don't feel like just getting wrecked. So I'm just gonna enjoy the show from the distance.
I'm just imagining Punky in the middle of the mosh pit.
Dude,
his hair is just going all over the place.
There was this one guy in the mosh pit. He was this white bald dude, and he was like pretty muscular and wearing a tank top, and I'm just like, I'm not going to fuck with this guy. This guy could like demolish me. I'm just not gonna go in there. But some people did get knocked down, of course, and there were always like someone always helped them back up, which is how it should be in mosh pits. Like people are gonna get knocked down, you should help them up, or else they can. I think people have gotten like stomped to death or something at mosh pits.
Mosh pits.
But like the people there were, the people moshing were like pretty reasonable. They were just moshing. They weren't like douchebags or anything.
No, that's good. Yeah, it's a controlled event, a controlled chaos. It's good stuff.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to move into our main topic of today: mastering a speed game. Basically, like the way I don't know about mastering, because there's that saying that's like you need to play 10,000 hours, or you need to do something for 10,000 hours to be a master. And I don't know if do you either of you think you've reached 10,000 hours with Mario?
No.
I mean, it's probably pretty close, but I couldn't even have a close idea. But I don't think it's 10,000. No. But is that really a famous like analogy where you have to play 10,000 hours to really master something?
I don't know who said it, but whenever I think of mastering, like it was a pretty, I don't know where I heard that. There's some
the 10,000 hours to master something. I've always like memed about it, and I would say something like,
I remember that. Yeah.
I've applied deodorant for 10,000 hours. I'm a master at that now. Also, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm feeling the alcohol quite a bit right now. So if I'm like smiling like a dingus, that's why.
That's good.
Everything is just kind of funny.
The more smiles, the better. Makes the chat feel more happy and engaged.
Punky going for 3 shots. Big baller over here.
There's actually another glass right here, and I could have it, but not right now.
Don't do it, Dad.
Not right now. I'm pretty good.
I'll take a couple shots right now to be on the same level.
That'd be funny if you just do that on stream.
Gross vodka.
All right.
Nice.
So
I can't tell if somebody just took shots right now. I don't think it did. I wasn't looking.
yeah, this thing's straight vodka, bro. Yeah.
That'd be insane if it was. You're just like chugging out like vodka while doing runs. Speaking of runs,
Send barrels in the chat. That's what I like to see.
Speaking of runs, when's doing 120 again?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to play again like May. Well, what's happening is school's over May 7th or like May 5th. And then I'm going to go on a road trip. And then once I get back from that, I will start playing again. So we'll see how it goes. My hands are actually feeling pretty good right now. I've been really taking good care of them, stretching a whole lot. I've been icing them 2 times a day, kissing them, rubbing them, you know, touching them, speaking nice things, kind words. So hoping for the best over here. But yeah, middle of May.
I'm very excited for that.
It's going to be lit, dude. I can't wait to play. I was on the edge, dude. I was on the cusp. I was about to go off.
You just PB'd. You got the 140-10.
Yeah, with like the 103.30, whatever. But whatever. Living in the past. Fuck that shit. You know, it happened. It's over. Move into the future now.
All right, so let's get back into it. 10,000 hours to get good at to master a game. Yeah, I don't know about that. But well, the thing is,
That's
okay.
bullshit.
The question is, what exactly do we mean by mastering a speed game? What is the idea of mastering it? What does it come
Whenever
from?
you do a run, you literally make 0 mistakes.
Right. So I don't want to confuse the chat about that. It's not really. Obviously, that's not what it means. But it's the idea of reaching that top level in the speed game.
Mm-hmm.
And a game like Mario 64.
You mean reaching a top level, but still making mistakes, of course, right?
Right, because there are lots of speed games that aren't nearly as worked on, and people would think, "Oh, I have the world record for this game, so I'm a master at it." But no, it's obviously that's not what it's about. It's about playing the speed game, practicing, and sticking to it. And the most important part is
consistency, speed, and understanding.
Well, yeah, pretty much actually. No, but yeah, it's like the idea of sticking to it, because I think sticking to the game is the whole. It's like the most important part, and well, Punkay, you're really good at that because you've played Mario for 6 years now. So
That you don't have played for 6 years and don't have a order.
Yeah, how about that? When is world record, man? No, it's soon. It can happen any day.
How have runs been?
Yeah.
I finally get past basement and get a. I got a sub 41 Lethal Lava Land, and like the run didn't feel like it was anything special, so I think that's a sign of improvement.
Oh, for sure.
Because like sub 41 is a good time, and you know if you can get that time and feel like the run wasn't anything special, and you just get these thoughts that I could definitely do better than that. I feel like that's just a sign of improvement. Like I think before I got back into runs, I think like a sub 41 was like the god run for me. But I get sub 41 and I'm like, this is actually kind of shit. Like I lost so much time on these splits.
Damn.
But like that was my first time making it out of basement in probably like a day or two, and it just immediately dies in vanish cap. But
oh, really?
I didn't really get mad over it, because it's just that's just how speedrunning goes. I noticed on my last stream that I didn't get like really far into the run on a really good run, but I never got like super triggered. I feel like my my mindset was better than normal on my last stream, and I definitely think my mindset is pretty important for speedrunning, because I just feel like if it's really negative, which is, I mean, I'm guilty of having a negative mindset, but I feel like if it's really negative, that could impact your gameplay.
That's all
you,
part
you
of
just you just get these thoughts that's like, oh man, I can't get any runs going. I suck at this game and I've put so much time into it.
That's all part of
But
the mastering of speedrunning in general, because yeah, if you have the negative mindset, then it's gonna make you less encouraged to do runs, and then you're gonna end up quitting the game pretty much, and then you would never reach far into it.
The downward spiral.
Exactly.
You get like the negative thoughts, and then they keep coming, dude, and then eventually you just feel like a slug.
Brain slug.
And then at that point, it's like you either have to take a break or you just have to stop doing runs. I feel like. So, how do you prevent negative thoughts? I guess, or like how do you deal with when you're playing like garbage? How do you look at it?
you just have to like you honestly you just have to tell yourself that things like this is how speedrunning works. No matter who you are, you're going to make these stupid mistakes and reset this much, and you just have to like try and tell yourself that this is natural and you shouldn't beat yourself up over it. This probably a good way to approach it.
That's very important.
But like it's very easy to just like obviously speedrunners have high standards, and if you're not playing up to those standards, then it's very easy for you to get really triggered by your gameplay.
There we go.
Dude, I honestly feel pretty drunk right now, but like
this guy.
You're killing it right now. Just keep it going.
Yeah, keep
You're
going.
spewing some knowledge right now.
I feel like it's very easy to feel triggered when you're not playing up to your standards, but honestly, what I said is probably the best way to approach speedrunning. Just you just have to like realize that you're not a fucking robot who's designed to play one game like perfectly. Like you're going to make these mistakes. You're going to make mistakes all the time that just to you make no sense, and they're so fucking shitty, and you just get triggered over it.
So I have a question then.
What?
Okay, so if you're able to acknowledge that, if we're all able to acknowledge that, right? That we're gonna make mistakes and stuff, why do we still reset so much in the beginning with the small second mistakes?
Because we want that juicy Tim, dude.
The thing is, like, I think the reason you don't reset as much and you take shitty runs more often is because you know that. Look at your Summit Best, for example. You can literally make like a little over 2 minutes of mistakes and still world record. I can't really do that. So because I can't really do that, because I know that, I end up resetting more. I got like a 23-25 Bob on Battlefield during my last stream. That run felt like complete shit, and I kind of wanted to reset it. But if you got a run like that, you'd probably be like, "Oh, I can still make so many more mistakes and like still world record with this."
Exactly, and I don't know. I think my last world record is kind of a good point. The fact that that kind of run is possible. That the pace at least, and Tippy, I lose so much time, and you can still get a world record. Yeah, it just proves a point, like. And earlier, this is extending the point that you made, like in the beginning of the podcast when you said that Mario 64 is such a reset heavy game, speed game. This is the thing. It isn't. I don't think it has to be, but this is this is what we do as speedrunners. We want to reset with shitty beginnings. We lose 3 seconds, and I'll be LJ and be like, "This run sucks. No, I don't want to do it anymore." But it clearly isn't the case.
Yeah.
I've done it a lot with like the beginning, for example. Like if I lose like 3 seconds in Dark World, I just kind of want to reset it.
Yeah, I've given you shit about that.
I've been trying to do better in regards to that.
Yeah.
But your world record run, for example, that run, like the thing about that run is that that's not like a normal thing that would happen. because that run was like batshit insane until you entered Tippy and you literally lost like over a minute in Tippy and still got world record.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pace is actually batshit insane. Like it like low. It was like a 1:38.18 or something going into Tippy. That's like
Pretty ridiculous, yeah.
if you end up having like a really solid Tippy in that run and got like a mid or low 1:38, that'd be the world record for such a long time.
Yeah.
But
it
like
was-
you're probably sweating bullets, which is why you didn't have a good Tippy.
Yeah,
I would be nervous as fuck in that situation.
Yeah, dude. Bullets. No, but yeah, I mean it's 1:37. I think it was 1:37 possible time going upstairs, which blew my load. All right. I was gonna mention something that was important. Oh yes. Okay. So yeah, a good example is my last world record, the 1:39.28. Lost 10 seconds in Wumps. 7:13 Wumps it was.
I remember that.
And it's like people always saw me like minus 10 seconds or whatever out of Wumps doing runs, and they would always be like, how do you save 10 seconds? This doesn't make sense. Why does he have such a bad beginning? Because people are so used, we're so used to resetting so much in the beginning that even the viewer community is like used to it, and they're asking questions like, wait, why didn't you reset in the beginning if it was so bad? Because but I just it doesn't have to be that way. And I think we'll enjoy speedrunning a lot more too if we just tried our best to ignore the perfect beginnings mindset kind of thing.
The way I see it is that for someone like me, like my movement is like objectively worse than yours, and that means I can't make as many mistakes. This is what I was saying. Like I know that I can't make as many mistakes, so I end up resetting more. Like I definitely think that's like a big part of the reason, at least, of why you continue runs with bad beginnings, because your movement overall is really good. Like if you can make 2 minutes of mistakes and still get world record, like you don't need a like optimal as fuck beginning.
Exactly.
I agree.
People in chat are saying that Tago's recent PB, which he got second place, by the way. I totally forgot to mention that. Tago got second place in 70 star. 48. Well, he tied second place with a 48-14, and apparently he lost loads of time in Wumps in that PB too. I'd like to know what his Wumps time was exactly. But
I don't know any of his like split times in his time, but I just know that his movement is like really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he has a 46, some of best.
Yeah, he's crazy good.
It's crazy stuff.
I was actually talking to him about this in his chat the other day, but like I think people like Tago and D whatever, they probably overall have like better movement than Cheese, but the thing about Cheese is that his movement isn't like absolute top tier, because people like Toast Rider have like batshit insane movement.
Mm-hmm.
But like his movement is still really good, but he's in my opinion, Cheese compared to someone like Tago, he's like way more consistent. And like if you want to get like world records, you need both consistency and the movement for it. Like if you're too consistent, then probably your overall strats are just not optimized enough. But like if you're too optimized everywhere, that could lead to having like horrendous consistency. So
right.
you need to find like a balance, I guess.
Or you could just put in tons more work and get consistency and speed.
Yeah.
Which
I had that in mind too.
Yeah, that's like the brick wall you have to pass if you really want to get to that ridiculous top level, which most of us in Mario 64 community, I think, battle with. Is getting to that point where you can have that crazy movement and be consistent, and that's where so much more hours of practice needs to go in. And that's what I started doing in the beginning of this year, which I think helped a ton. And that's why I did whatever Tago and Toast Rider, people like them have a lot better movement than us because they have actually been doing lots of single star and IL grinding for like a year now.
I know
or
Toast
more.
Rider, for example, has been doing that shit for so long.
Yeah. So they do strats that we never tried before. They do all this crazy stuff, and that practice really, really makes you a lot better. Because I did it in January with Pitt, actually, who started playing Mario. I did it for like 3 weeks or so, and I got so much better in those 3 weeks of grinding all the single star stuff. It really makes a difference.
Even when you think you're like at the peak, you just keep putting more time in, and you just find like the little things.
You always get better. It's crazy how it made me realize actually this year that wow, you really can't like stop getting better in this game. You just keep getting better, and it made me appreciate that. So, but it's just that when you reach at this point or this level, the rate of getting better is so tiny. And the amount of work you have to put in is so huge to get just a little bit better every time that you just feel like, okay, this is way too much. And this is why a lot of people don't like to do lots of grinding now, because people like Tago and do whatever. They didn't do lots of runs like me and Punkay do, because it's like, it's just so much you have to put into it. Sometimes it's just too overwhelming.
Yeah. I agree with that point a lot. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I have a question, and well, both of you or all of us to talk about.
I was gonna say something, I just completely forgot. I hate it when that happens.
Too drunk, dude. All right, what were you gonna say, Sim?
What is your philosophy on practice? Like, how do you judge what to practice? When do you practice it? You know, when is something a problem? Like, you know how sometimes you'll have stuff that you have on lock and then you kind of lose it. Like Punkay, I think you've ran into this with box jump and HMC. People have mentioned. If you want to talk about that?
Oh my god, dude! I reached a point where toxic maze BLJ is easier than doing the box triple jumps.
Oh my god!
In my honest opinion, at this very point for me, doing 3 box triple jumps successfully is harder than anything else in HMC, and I think it's such a joke because I've been doing this fucking strat since like 2013. It's such a joke. Why can't I consistently do this? I just lose so much time on this shit.
Right. And this is common, right? It happens to all of us. Where there's always just, there could be an easy trick, and then all of a sudden we can't do it consistently anymore. And that's like a huge battle that you have to fight. That's the whole thing about consistency, though. We don't really understand that much why we can't be consistent.
Consistency, understand me.
Yeah, dude, because we would practice something forever, and then all of a sudden you can't do it in runs anymore, no matter what. And I mean, I don't really know why, to be honest. It's kind of hard.
Dude, I just click on the cheese tab and I see Simply's dumbass smile and I just can't stop laughing. I need not look.
It's not a dumbass smile. It's the best smile ever. Simply has the nicest smile.
He has a good smile, but I know a Melee legend Mango said that I have a smile that lights up the room, so I think my smile is better.
Not bad.
It does light up the room. You got some nice teeth. They look very good.
Okay, so what's your opinion, Sam, on the practice?
Well, whenever I was doing runs, I'd have a notepad up, and anything I messed up in runs, I would write down in the notepad. Like, I feel like even if, I mean, practice always helps, but I think part of the reason, like a big part of the reason that practice helps is the confidence. Like, when you grind something a lot, you're like, okay, I've been grinding this, you know, I'm well prepared kind of thing. But the longer you go without practicing something, the more I feel like, oh, I haven't been practicing this, you know, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try my best. But so like anything I mess up in a run, I'll go and I'll run through it at least a couple times. And especially the stuff that I mess up multiple times, like I'll grind it a lot. And there's this moment I had where I couldn't get past SSL at all for the life of me. It was like, it was really sad. Like I was like, wow, I really need to stop playing or something. I was like, it's so hard, dude. Well, what I did was I don't ever do stage RTAs. Paracusia praises stage RTAs a lot, and I was like, you know, I'll give it a shot. So what what I started doing was I did SSL RTAs for like 30 minutes to an hour before I started doing runs every day. And the first time I did it, it didn't do anything. Like I did RTAs, they went pretty good, and then I got to SSL and I still messed it up. And I could have been like, man, I just can't do it. It's not happening. I'm never going to get through this level. But then I did it again the next day, and then it got a little better. And then I did it the third day, and then after that, it was like something had clicked, and then I was just beast mode in SSL every time. So I think a big part of practice is not only like you got to put a lot of time into it, but I think you should spread the time out. Like I'm a firm believer in doing a little bit of the same thing every day, as opposed to doing a lot of it one day and then a lot of a different thing another day and a lot of a different thing another day. So that's my stance.
I feel like sometimes if you practice like, I don't know, one specific star for several hours, I can't stop smiling. I don't know why.
Just keep smiling. It's great.
But sometimes I feel like if you spend too much time in one star, like a specific strat, when you finally do it in a run, at least for me, I get these thoughts like, oh man, I practiced this for so long, I can't possibly screw this up. And the worst feeling is when you like actually screw it up in a run and you lose a run to it. I feel like that might be a good point that you have. Just like putting in less. If you put in less practice, I feel like you wouldn't think about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that could maybe help. Like I don't know if this actually like affects your gameplay. I can't really tell. But like pillarless, for example, there's a faster pillarless strat. I probably put like around 10 hours into it so far, and if you do it well,
that's crazy.
If you do it well, it stays like around a second or something. If you do it really well compared to my old movement, and I've lost plenty of recent runs to it, but like when I lost those runs to it, I was like, dude, I've practiced this. I even said this on stream. Like I practiced this so much. Like this is ridiculous. How am I still failing this? I'm losing runs to this. Mm-hmm. But that, like I was saying earlier, the human aspect comes into play there. Like obviously, yeah, you have to like try and keep in mind that even if you spend like X amount of time on one strat, you're still going to fuck it up in runs.
Yeah,
it's just like hard to accept, I guess. But I mean, I don't regret my time spent on that star because on my last stream, I got like big bomb pillarless every run that I did that made it there.
Yeah, because go on.
Every run that did pillarless, I probably got like a sub 16-second in-game time pillarless, and I saved like at least half a second over my old movement, and I can get that consistent. So I think it's worth it. Just like one step at a time.
Do you think that your confidence for the star is really, really high right now, and that's why that's one of the factors why you're able to pull it off most of the time? Because I think the point that Simply made about confidence is a really good factor. I think confidence is all about confidence too. Because at least for me, when I practice a star so much, you know, you spend like all day in a star, and then when you do runs, you kind of get really nervous for that star because you're like, holy crap.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because your confidence is really low. But after practicing it so much and you do it a few times in runs and then you feel your confidence getting higher and higher, then that's when it really does get consistent.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know if that actually helps with consistency because I've been in runs before and I just told myself like I can do this star. I don't find it that hard, and then I just fuck it up poorly. I don't know if that actually helps. What I'm trying to say is I don't know how much the mental aspect of speedrunning, like I don't know how big of a difference it actually makes.
I don't think anyone could know, really. It's
like you can't really say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is there though. Like I 100%. I think we've all been there where you practice something so long and then if you mess it up in a run, you're crushed. But I think that's not the way.
Yeah.
Like you bring up a great point. Is part of speedrunning is accepting that you're human. Like we want to believe that, oh, if I practice this, I'm gonna get it. But that's just if you're running that mindset, it'll work if you get it. But if you don't get it, then you're kind of like, all right, well, what do? I practiced it, but really,
Do I just sit here and cry like everyone else?
The answer is you just keep going, dude. You just keep trying, keep
Exactly,
practicing it, keep going. You can't take it personal. I feel like that's a big thing in speedrunning.
Sometimes
Like people take things personal, and then you get in like a rut, and you're like negative mindset, and it's just like it compounds on itself. But as long as you stay, accepting of how it is, the nature, then you're strong. But it also comes with time. Like the more you play, you kind of build up that tenacity, I want to say, like that resistance, I guess.
That, I mean, I think for me at least, that's the hardest part about speedrunning by far, is accepting the fact that you are human, you're gonna make mistakes, and you just have to deal with it. I think it's the hardest part of speedrunning, because it's just, that's where all the getting triggered and the rage comes from. That's where getting angry
when you
from.
put that much time into a game or like a specific strat and you fuck it up, like it's in my opinion, the best thing you can do is just accept that obviously you're human and you should just move on, because like mistakes are going to happen no matter what. But I'm very guilty of just having like a poor mindset. But the best thing you can do is just like kind of don't take it too personally, and to just like move on from it. Like if I lose a run to pillarless, best thing for me to do is probably just be like, all right, I mean, this people lose runs of this all the time. Like the starter has some challenge. Like of course I'm not going to do it 100% every run. So I just like die or something, and I should just like reset and move on. Just be like, whatever, like shit happens.
Yeah, it's just really difficult, and I think it takes years to get used to.
It is really difficult to just like get yourself to like tell yourself something like that, because like it's just easy. Like I already said that I've probably put like around 10 hours or something into that pillarless. Like I know how much time I put into it. So when I fuck it up and lose a run to it, I'm like, what the fuck? I should be getting this, because I spent that much time. But human element.
I know. Not sure how to pronounce it in chat. He makes a really good point. He says, I'd say a lot of practice will make you nervous for certain parts, but if you just play without thinking about it too much, you'll eventually be able to run it on autopilot. Yeah, you're totally right. But, and you guys that have opinions on this too, the thing about speedrunning at such a high level is you can't rely on just autopilot, because you have to be able to work. You have to, while you're speedrunning and you're in the middle of a run, you have to always be thinking about the mindset of telling yourself, okay, relax,
take a breath.
Yeah, taking a breath, trying to just stay calm. I mean, you have to think about what you're doing too. But I do agree on the fact that if you think too much, at least, then that's really bad.
Definitely.
And that happens a lot when you practice a strat too much.
Yeah.
When you practice a strat a lot and then you do runs, you think about it way too much, and then that's where it could be a problem.
I'm really guilty of that.
I think everyone is. It's just part of being human. You can't help it. you can't help but just think about it too much, and that's the challenge. That's the difference between good players and bad, I guess, or more consistent players and less consistent players, at least.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Like, and let's talk about a situation where you're in a run and it doesn't kill your run, but you mess up something that you practiced. Well, it's still, I think the same thing applies. Like, if you want to keep going and keep playing well, like we've all had it happen where you mess up something and now you're mad or you're upset or you have a negative mindset, and then you mess up another thing, and then it's like, then it's over.
And then you scream and chat and everyone calls you
you're a baby, big baby. Why you get mad at Speedgame, you dumb dummy?
Just a game, ma.
Oh my god, Rager unfollowed.
Yeah.
And I think to prevent that kind of thing from happening, it's the same thing. You just have to, like, you can't change it, right? It already happened. It's in the past, so you might as well just be like, all right, The run's still alive. We're still going.
Mm-hmm.
Calm down, take a breath, just keep going. Like
Right.
if you keep thinking about it, and I hear a lot of people like when I watch streams, like people get hung up on mistakes. They're like, even if it's 2 splits back, they're like, oh man, if I did this run would be so hot, and then like it's still in their head and it's still affecting them.
I'm so guilty of this. I'm so fucking guilty.
Dude,
of this.
and we've all been there, of course, but it's
Yeah.
just, I think in the ultimate mindset, like you just brush it off.
You would just get past it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, my next question, unless Cheese, do you have a question?
You just go ahead, dude.
How do you play the same game for so long? How do you, like, we've all done Mario for so long, multiple years. How do you keep it interesting? How do you stay into it? What's your thoughts?
I think there's quite a few thoughts that go into that. One of my main thoughts, I think the fact, okay, so obviously there's a lot of the idea of oh geez, how do I put this? I guess goals, but not really goals, but just motivation, obviously. But the question is, okay, where does the motivation come from? And I don't really know, because I think it's just how you, if some people are just much more competitive than others, and they take gaming in general more seriously, like I do. I naturally just take gaming very competitively and seriously.
I've experienced that by losing the world record in under 24 hours.
Right.
White Light Cheese powers up when he loses a record.
And yeah, that's a big factor for me personally. That is my personal view on it. My general and overall view of it, actually, I think it's the same thing. It's all motivation, but where it stems from, I think everyone has their own story and reason to why they have their what sparks their motivation.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, it was just the general idea of being competitive in gaming, and when finding something which is basically a reason for me to use my gaming skills competitively, I just found that crazy to me and really awesome, and that just gave me motivation, and I didn't want to stop. And when I started playing and I saw my rapid improvement, I just thought, okay, well, I might as well keep going. What am I gonna lose? And then but after that, and going years and years longer, well, I think it's a lot of digging deep. There have been many days where I would just think about Mario, and I'd think, do I want to keep playing?
Think about it for days. You're just trying to sleep
you're
and
just
you're
like,
thinking about Mario.
No. There were many days where I would think about it. Not I would think about it for days. Where I would just wake up thinking about it, be like, do I want to play Mario? What do I want to keep playing? What are my goals?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to push for this time? And I don't know. I kind of try to force myself to want to play, but then that forcing just makes me get more motivation, because I end up thinking about reasons why I would continue and outcomes that could happen if I did continue. That's my personal view on it. How about you guys?
I think Nindita in chat summed it up really well, actually. Community, competition, and improvement. Like, a big part of why I was so into it when I came back after, like, when me and you were playing Cheese, was because we were like competing.
Yeah.
You know, we would talk every day, and then there was a point where we had connected with Punkay after we got our times low enough to be cool enough to talk to Punkay Jones.
Right.
And then
Pretty much that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, dude. I think community is a really big part of it. Like, let's take somebody who's speedrunning a game that there's no one that speedruns that game. I feel like it's really hard to keep yourself interested and motivated.
Dude, this is just something to put out there, but I opened up Discord and I saw Assembly's webcam. I just can't handle it right now. I don't need to look at him. It's just too funny. Anyways,
You like the smile, boy?
It's just too funny. I don't know.
Can't look at it. All right, so
Thank you for your input. Thank you for the input, K. Jones. But yeah, community is definitely a big part. Like finding somebody who you can compete with directly, or just members of the community that are near your skill level,
that's a really good
are
point.
definitely a big force. At least for me, I thought it was a big part of why. But also, like, I believe humans are just, we're wired to want to get good at things. Like that's our thing. You know, we're not specialized in any one thing, but we can be, and that's kind of the goal, is to find the thing that you want to specialize in. And when you're speedrunning, like you can see the improvement right before your eyes. You know, your time gets lower. It's like it's there in front of you. There's things where you aren't really sure if you're getting better, or it's hard to judge. But with speedrunning, it's very, very concrete. And as long as you're practicing and playing.
I feel like this applies to things in general.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Today on my stream earlier, I was talking about it. Someone asked me in chat something along these lines. And, all right, he said that he could play Mario for 10 hours a day and he feels like he'd never get as good as me. And I was like, no, of course that's not true. I'm sure you can get as good as me. It's all about the seriousness and the work you put into something. And then it could be anything. I think it's the same way that there are businessmen that are millionaires because they put their life to that thing. And it's kind of the same thing. If you really want to get good at something, you kind of really have to make it your life. People make jokes of like, it's just a game, you know? This is not life. But at the same time, I mean, it is life if you want to make it that. Because if you want to get good at something, you kind of have to make it the main focus of your life. I actually saw it I've talked about this before. I saw an interview with Mango. If anyone doesn't know Mango, one of the best melee players of all time, one of the melee gods.
Who doesn't know Mango?
I just gotta say it just in case. Probably everyone knows it. But yeah, so I saw an interview with Mango. It's a Cloud9 kind of thing going on. And they asked Mango, what do you think is one of the best ways or most important things about getting so good in melee? Something like that. And he said that when he was getting good at melee, he would wake up in the morning thinking melee.
I actually remember this.
Yeah. I think that was one of the most intriguing points I've heard, because it's the same thing that I used to do. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a good thing in general. Like when you make something the main focus in your life and you want to get really good at something, you got to wake up thinking about that thing. You got to wake up thinking Mario, thinking okay, got to play Mario today, got to practice this, got to practice that, can't wait to do this, whatever. That's just like, it's really important, and people would never think that that's a thing in the gaming community, because they think, oh, it's just games, it's just a video game. They would think it's not real things in life to really take seriously, but that's not how it is. I don't believe that at all.
I mean, I should add that most people who play video games are like speedrun are probably just going to view it as a hobby, but there are some people like us who view it as something more than that.
Exactly. And that's the difference between that's all the difference pretty much.
It's a passion.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with like not taking speedrunning very seriously. It just like, it depends on the person. Like if you start speedrunning a game, like it's perfectly fine if you don't have like, if your intention isn't to get like world record. Like some people just have a more casual approach, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just depends on the person.
Right. Just like Astral said in chat, obsession is key to greatness. I agree totally.
Yeah, and it's not something you can force either. Like some people just, it's not their interest. Like you get into it, you're like, oh, this could be fun, and you try it, and it's not. Right. It's not like when I started playing Mario, dude. It was, I mean, still, like when I played it the last time I was playing, it was like still the same kind of fire and passion that I had when I was playing it at the beginning. Like you wake up and you're like, man, I can't wait to play Mario today.
Right. And it sounds,
and then you play and there's like fire in your wrists.
Right. But it sounds kind of nerdy, and people would say that all the time, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's all about like what you want to take seriously. It's a passion.
It's about what's fun. Like if you're not having fun, that's like, I think that's one of the most core components
Right,
that
exactly.
people don't realize.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't force yourself to like something.
it's like esports is about gaming, and these people wake up and play these games as their main job and their main thing in life. That's what they do. They're a gamer and they wake up to play games. And it's the same thing in speedrunning, if people take it that seriously.
Mm-hmm. It's just like anything else, dude.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
find something that you want to get good at, you put shitloads of time in it, whether it be piano,
Yeah.
speed running, swimming, whatever, man.
PUBG.
Whatever floats your boat. Yeah, dude. PUBG, definitely. I could. I mean, okay, that game is not good for the hands, but like, you seem to be having so much fun with it. I feel like that's another thing that you could go towards. Like, it's such an addicting game. It's so much fun
Mhm.
that. But there's also a lot more competition too, which makes it a lot harder to
It's
get to the top level.
the idea of digging into like a big, I mean, PUBG is not really esports, but you know what I mean. The whole FPS community, but the idea of digging into a community that is so much larger than speedrunning, to me, is really interesting. I would like to just experience it and see what it's like, see what the community is like, and what it feels like to be digging into a game that has such a huge community compared to speedrunning. And I think it's interesting. Obviously, I'm not gonna stop speedrunning. Speedrunning would always be my main passion and focus.
Always be like. Do you think you can see yourself doing that for the rest of your life?
Well, okay, no, I don't think I'll be doing gaming in general for the rest of my life. But
You
I'm
should have
not.
said
I mean,
temporary then.
I'm not thinking about that far in the future. But I'm sure gaming is still
Yeah.
gonna. I'm sure gaming is gonna be in my life for at least quite a while. 10 years,
Yeah.
probably more. I don't know. We'll see.
You never know. You never know where Twitch will take you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Definitely.
one thing I wanted to add about just like putting time in like speedrunning, for example, I think there's some people who just see like the top runners for the game and they're like, oh man, these people are extremely good. I could never compete with them. But the thing is, like you could. It's just that it's just like anything else. Like you said, you have to put in. If you put in the time into something, you're probably going to get really good at it. It just applies to like anything, really.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's
like,
a good point.
For like art, for example, like if you have like an artist you really like, if you tell yourself something like they probably sucked major ass when they started, and they're at the level that they are at now because they kept on doing it and they didn't stop, and they just knew how to like improve at it and fix their problems. It's like the same thing with speedrunning. It's just you can apply this to so many things.
Yeah, I get people
Like
in chat all the time.
It's not like people like me or Cheese have like ridiculous god gamer genes.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's just putting in time into it and focusing hard on something and sticking to it.
I get lots of people in chat say all the time, hey, I started playing Mario, you know, but I'm so bad. I don't know why I'm so bad. You're so much better than me. You know, it's like, duh, you know, in a nice way. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's obvious you're going to be bad. I was awful too when I started. It just makes sense. I mean, they just have to think about the fact that I've been playing the game for 4 years and put thousands of hours in to know that, yeah, okay, I went from to 0 to now. So yeah, of course, that's normal. You're going to be bad, obviously. Anything you do, actually. Again, this could also pertain to anything in life. Most things in life that you start doing, you're going to be bad at first. You're not going to know what to do.
You just got to do, and you learn.
Yeah, dude.
You can't be like a robot though. You can't just throw yourself at it, you know, like without thinking. Like there's definitely some thought involved.
Yeah,
why am I sucking eggs? You know, you have to ask your question.
Yeah.
You have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, don't throw yourself at it either if you don't actually want to do it.
Can I go to AFK for a minute or two?
Sure. Go ahead.
I have to piss like really fucking bad.
Please
I'm
pee.
do it now.
This drunk
I don't want
bastard.
to piss myself on screen.
All right.
So how you doing, Bob? How's chat doing?
I'm good. Nice dark Puncay cam. Shout out to Time Sync. Agreed. Shout out to TimeSync.
Shout out to TimeSync.
No, I wanted to enhance what I was just saying. What was I just saying? Right. Okay. So yeah, but also don't, jump into something that if you're not 100% sure if you want to do it, it's like if you feel like you're forcing yourself to want to do something, then yeah, that's not good. Because I think there's a lot of people too that message me and say, hey, I love the idea of getting good at speedrunning and getting into it, but I can't seem to want to practice and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, maybe it's just not for you. Like, you don't actually want to do it, and that's fine. If you don't actually really want to get into it and your life is already full with other things that you're doing that you love, no big deal, dude. Don't worry about it. You don't actually want to get into it, and that's fine.
Do you believe there are naturally talented people at gaming?
I think so, for sure. Maybe not speedrunning, but in gaming in general, yes.
Well, think about it. Like, do you think that you have a natural talent for gaming?
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying me specifically. I'm saying in general. I think it's a thing. Or are you asking me personally?
Personally.
Oh, I think so. Because I think it stems from the fact that ever since I started playing video games when I was like 6 years old, I was always like the best out of everyone I used to play. Like my whole family, my friends, I would always be like way ahead of everyone. I remember many times I used to play my brother and friends, and I always had to like purposely play bad and like slow down, because I would always like, people would never want to play against me because I would always win, and I always knew how the game worked. Yeah. But I mean, I believe in it. I really do. I think people are, but I think it's the same. It's correlated with things like music and stuff like that, arts, where people have natural talent. People have a musical ear, other people don't. I think it's the same way with gaming. I think you could just understand the way games and the mechanics in games work more than other people do. I don't mean to sound sexist by this at all, but a lot of people say that girls in general suck at games more than guys. And I mean, I personally have seen that a lot in my life. I don't know why, but I think that's another like obvious reason too. Like a lot of other people have natural talent or more talent in gaming than other people do. I think it's a thing.
I don't know. I think the reason for that is maybe just like gaming isn't a domain that interests a lot of girls. Like you have to be very interested in it. First of all, you need to be very passionate about it. And there's definitely some very good gamers, girl gamers, but they're few and far between. Like it's a very small amount. Like there's so many more men in gaming. That's why I think that's the case.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
There's a huge interest factor as well.
Jesus was being sexist while you were gone. I don't know. He went off the rails.
Yeah, people said that a lot, and I don't know. It could be true. It can be. But I think Simply is right actually, that much more girls don't care about gaming. They can't get into it, and that's
what I was gonna say. I think most of them just don't give a shit.
Yeah, and that's why they seem like they're just not as good as guys.
She's brought up a. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
While you were gone, she's brought up. Well, there was a question, and it was about talent. Do you think there's like talent in gaming, or I guess it applies to anything. Like, do you think people have? I think natural talent is a thing. Do you think it's? Like, do you think only certain people can do certain things or be the best at certain things? I guess is a derivative of that question. What's your thoughts?
I don't know what it is specifically. I don't know if it's like natural talent or just like genes or something, but Cheese is a really good example. Cheese is a really good example for this because he, to this very day, he's still improved so much faster than everyone else, and I can't like. I mean, he improved that fast because he just gets speedrunning. The question is why why does he just get it? Why did he improve that fast? Like I can't really pinpoint exactly what it was.
I think
But,
natural
like,
talent is a thing.
it probably like was a part of your improvement, like how fast, but I feel like if I just say something like, oh, he only improved as fast as he did because of like genes or something, that's like kind of it's kind of like discrediting your like progress or something. I don't want to be that guy who's just like, oh, he's only good because of his genes or something.
But
Like
what do you
you
mean?
obviously
What do the genes come from though? What do you mean by genes in this case?
some people, I don't know if there's like actual truth to this. So some people have said that
Is it like being gay when it comes to genes? Is it like related to that?
no, it's just like your I don't know how to explain it well. It's just like your genes period. Like I don't. Some people legit think that genes like has to do with your improvement rate in speedrunning.
I mean,
I don't
yeah.
even I don't even know if it's really true.
I bought a pair of jeans one day, and they were just good for speedrunning. All right.
He's been wearing them since that day. Hasn't changed them once. Kind of smelly, a little gross.
Every time I do runs, I wear those pair of jeans. Okay, but okay, well, that's our opinions. So simply
I
you
got some thoughts on it.
right. So you said you don't think it exists natural talent.
Well, I mean, I think there's something, but I don't think it's nearly as individual as people make it out to be. And I'm not sure if I'd call it talent, like natural. I think it comes from what you've done as a kid. Like, think about as a kid. Have you been playing video games since you were a kid? Both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you already have an advantage. You already understand how games work. You've played a lot of different games. You've played with a lot of different controllers. You've developed these skills as opposed to somebody who they've never played games in their childhood and they're like, okay, I'm going to try speedrunning. There is obviously going to be a disadvantage there.
Okay.
But I think, like, same thing applies to other stuff. Like, think about somebody who's been drawing since they were a kid. Of course, they're going to be at a bigger advantage than somebody who starts drawing later in life. And I think when you start something as a kid too, it's like different. Your brain is developing, so it's like I don't know if that's actually a true thing, but I just feel like that's how it works. But
yeah, I agree with simply in that too. The idea of starting young and getting that experience, yeah, that's definitely a thing that helps.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do as well think that talent is part of it, but I think both of those things, or all of the things that you mentioned, and talent all go together.
I know that when I switched to N64, like the very first day, I could get some precise angles, and I grew up playing Nintendo 64. It is like one of my most played consoles in my childhood, and I've had people in my chat who have said that they don't even know how to like properly hold an N64 controller. So like, I think there's definitely truth to what Simply said. Like imagine someone who grew up with an N64 and then they start speedrunning N64 games compared to someone who doesn't even know how to hold the fucking controller.
Yeah.
That yeah, that's definitely a factor. Yeah.
Well, somebody brought up something in chat. There's a
yeah. I was about to read that
Rex.
too. Yeah.
Zilla. Is that the one?
I was about to read that. That's a good point.
Yeah, you can read it. Go, read it out for me. I can't read.
Kzilla mentions, but what about people who start late in life and pick up something extremely fast? There are people who pick up piano late and become better than people who played their whole life. That doesn't hold. I have first-hand experience of this, actually. Really good point. I should have mentioned this. So, my grandfather and my uncle, so his son, are both drummers. They play drums all their life. And I'm a drummer as well. I started playing drums when I was 14. And if it wasn't for me begging my uncle to play on his drum set to teach me, I wouldn't have started probably, because I used to tell my uncle all the time, hey, I know I got rhythm, I really think I have a touch in music. Please, take me one day to play drums. I've never ever played on a drum set before. the first day I've ever played on a drum set, he took me to his band room because he was in a band. Started putting like metronomes, and I would just play beats. And I was playing beats, dude. I was playing all these different like rudiments, all these like rolls and all this stuff. And he was like mind blown. And he told me after that first day I've ever played drums, he said that on the first day I was doing things on the drum set that he wasn't doing after like 2 years of playing drums. And then now I'm not. He tells me all the time, like I'm a better drummer than him now after playing for like 2 years. When I was like 16, it was like, wow, you're a better drummer than me. And this proves Zilla's point, I guess. There's a lot of talent in it. I don't really know where it comes from. I don't think anyone could say. It could be like genes, like Punky said.
It's the genes, dude.
Do you know what some people? Do you know what some people have said in chat? Some I don't know if there's actually truth to this, but some people think you improved as fast as you did because you're like a drummer and you just like understand like rhythm. But I don't know if that translates to speedrunning. I don't know if there's actual like truth to that.
Truth to what? Say that again.
Some people think that the reason you improved so fast with SM64 is because you were a drummer and you just like understand. You just have a good understanding of rhythm. But I don't know if that translates to speedrunning at all. That's what other people have said.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I have a point on the whole, like how people get better at something faster than other people do. I think part of it is like, okay, at this point we've all already gotten really good at speedrunning, right? We've taken it and we've pushed it really far. We've practiced a lot, put a lot of hours in, and we kind of get it, like how to improve. Yeah. And I think you become a better learner. Like people who get better at something faster than someone else, the difference between them might be that the person who got better faster had already done something in their life where they had already put in a bunch of work and they already understand like the process of learning, like where you should start,
that's a really good
that kind of thing. So I think that's a part of it.
Dude, simply with the hot points tonight, Jesus.
Like before I got into speedrunning, I don't think I ever like sunk a bunch of time into like one specific thing, like a hobby. Like I used to play a shitload of Halo 2. I didn't get really good at it. I used to play a shitload of WoW. I was pretty good at that.
So apart from gaming, there wasn't anything else that you really put a lot of time into?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. Or yeah, that's a really good point because I think my entire life has basically just been that. Just been like one thing I put tons of time to, and then after a few years I put something else. It would be something else. I played soccer for 10 years and I took it seriously. My stepdad was like my coach too, so like he just pushed me every day. I would train, so like I knew what it took to train every single day to get my fitness up and to get good at playing soccer. And then there was the drum thing, so the music aspect when I practiced drumming all the time to get good at it. So I guess that probably helped a lot in speedrunning. It's very possible.
Yeah, I bet it does. Like, I feel like that's an advantage that you can have is if, and it's not even a lot of times. I feel like it's not even your choice. Like it depends on your parents. If they're like they really want you to get into something and get good. Like, okay, my parents wanted me to do piano, but I was really not about that at all. But I felt like and then there was like nothing else that they pushed me to do. I did tennis in middle school, but I feel like if they pushed me to try all these different sports when I was a kid, then that would lend an advantage later on in life.
But the first time I played tennis with you though, in 2015, you were like way worse, and then a year later you like got way better.
Yeah, I practiced a lot before we played again. Like there was that summer I played with my dad really often, and I was actually going to the tennis courts near my house and like practicing serving and hitting against the wall, like practicing my hits, and it was a lot of fun. It felt like the same as getting good at speedrunning. Like I could see.
Did you think a lot about improving in speedrunning or the idea of speedrunning stuff while you're playing tennis?
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, my serves are bad, my hits are bad, everything's bad. Well, let's start somewhere. Right. So I got a bucket of balls, went to the court, and I just started trying. I just experimented with a ton of different things, and after doing it for like a couple of days, I could already see improvement in my consistency with serves and my hits. And my dad could too.
It's almost like when you practice something, you get better at it.
Almost like it, not quite, but yes. That makes a lot of sense. You experimented with balls. It's good, dude. And then you got better at it. That's great. No, but yeah, there it is, dude. They're all connected. I think all the points we made are connected. I don't think either one of them, any one of them is like, not, in my opinion, all the points we made, I think they're all connected. I don't think any one of them is like not part of it.
It brings up a good point. So many times I've played games and just mindlessly played about it, analyzed, and it changed my gameplay so quickly. And that's something I mentioned earlier. Like I see people will mindlessly grind something. Like it's not as simple as put in work and you improve. It's not that easy. It's like put in work, see what happens, think about it, think about what you can do differently to make it better. Like you have to take a step back and think about what you're doing sometimes. Or like
I think I talked about this on my last stream, and I'm not going to name people, but there's people who speedrun SM64, and I feel like the reason that they're not improving quickly is because they do this unoptimized movement and they straight up don't realize that it's unoptimized. So because they don't understand, this is why the whole the whole like speed consistency understanding thing. This is where the understanding part comes into play. They don't understand that they're being fucking slow in who knows how many spots. So because they don't know that, they don't improve it.
Okay, going full savage right now.
You have to. One of the things to be a good speedrunner is you have to realize where you're being slow, and
definitely.
you have to like work on your movement eventually. Like when I was getting good, I didn't start off with the best strats because I just thought some of the best strats were too difficult for me. But then I got better at the game, and I knew that I was doing the slow movement in many places. To this very day, I still do slow movement in many places. But the thing is, I'm aware of it. So what I need to do is like put in the time and to actually work on the movement in many places. But what I'm saying is that some people don't even realize they're being slow, so they don't improve it.
Yeah. And not only that, the mindlessly practicing thing. So a lot of people would not know that they're slow, but also they don't know that they're mindlessly practicing.
Welcome back to the fridge.
Welcome back to the fridge. 1 for 4 years. Appreciate the love.
Cyclops Society.
Right. So they don't know that they're mindlessly practicing. So they're practicing. And they don't have any plan set out in the practice. They just play the game, and a lot of times they would practice the same thing that they practiced yesterday over and over again.
Right. I'm very guilty of this.
Just because it's like the more fun thing to practice, I guess. And
guilty of this.
Yeah, they wouldn't realize that, and then they wouldn't get better efficiently. Sometimes not to get better at all, and then they just don't know why, and then it's just a vicious cycle. Give us an example, Punky. How are you guilty of that?
There's been so many times where I was doing what you said. I was practicing something that I literally practiced yesterday, and I'm not actually. I've been doing this recently. Like, you know how I spent a week or two actually updating my movement in a few spots,
right?
And recently I've just been doing like the same kind of practice that I used to do, which is just basically consistency practice. Like, I'm not actually getting faster. I'm just trying to improve my consistency in a few spots.
Okay.
And sometimes I feel like with my practice, I'm not actually making like a lot of progress, and I could definitely be spending my time practicing better. Like, I've recently practiced in with Drywood 100 coin, for example, and a lot of the time when I'm practicing that, I kind of like spam resets at the very beginning, because I get like bad RNG, for example, and I kind of feel like I'm wasting my time.
Yeah, I feel like when you're practicing stuff that has RNG elements, you should just, as long as you're playing good, you just go with it, because then you learn all the different ways that you can adapt.
Yeah, because
RNG.
in a run we wouldn't reset because we got bad RNG and star, even though we're
Yeah.
playing perfectly. So once we're playing really well, then yeah, we just gotta keep going with it.
Somebody brought up something good. Let me see.
Larry?
Yes, that, and also Clarinet 5001 says mindless practice does not equal great results. So with that in mind, I got a question. What do you guys do for creativity to make practice sessions more effective without them becoming monotonous?
Monotonous.
Yeah.
Mindless practice does not equal great results. I'm not good at reading, so I need to read stuff many times. Right, okay. Well, okay, actually, yeah, I was gonna mention stuff about that. I don't know. For me personally, when I practice, again, there's always a goal that I have in the practice session, in that specific practice session. So before I practice, I make sure and let myself know what it is I'm going to practice and why. I think why is a better question, actually. Why am I going to play the game right now? Oh, okay, because my Rainbow Ride sucks. That's usually my answer, because that's always true. So I would think, why am I going to practice? Okay, I'm going to do Rainbow Ride RTA because I need to practice Rainbow Ride. I keep messing up in runs. Okay. And just like that, you immediately have a reason why to practice. So once you find the reason why to practice, then the drive to practice always immediately sparks right away, I think. That's my...
If you're passionate.
Yeah, if you're passionate.
Also, already assuming that you're really into what you're doing.
Yeah, of course. So if you're really into what you're doing, I think Live Egg is a good example of this. Live Egg was into Mario for years. He was playing for a long time. But he always used to complain a lot how he didn't know how to practice. He didn't know how to get better. He found
This is too depressing. I don't want to be reminded of Live Egg quitting this game.
We gotta do it, man. It's for the fans.
The egg. Gotta crack open the egg and take a closer look.
Yeah, dude. And he used to ask questions all the time. He used to complain and wonder why he couldn't get better.
Oh my
god. What?
I typed the live fucking egg, but I typed it in the wrong chat.
Oh god.
Let me copy and paste it here. Wrong chat. I typed it in the Speed Gaming chat. God damn it.
Oh
Speed
no.
Gaming chat.
Is there a tournament going on?
Is there a tournament going? Okay.
Ouija versus Blue Bomb. I typed it in that chat.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, we gotta raid them after this.
Yeah. Okay, so
no, people are calling me out in the Speed Gaming chat. They're
God.
saying that I'm like in the middle of an interview. What am I doing?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what are you doing, man? You're in the middle of an interview. God damn. In the middle of an important discussion. You're just...
I can't remember what I was going off on. Oh,
Live Egg.
Live Egg, yeah. Yeah, and you know, he's wondering why, and I think it's one of the good reasons, because I think he probably then needs to think about what he was gonna do or what he was doing or why before he would practice. He would put on the game for just putting on the game's sake and playing, and that's not gonna be productive at all. I don't think. You gotta have a reason why you're gonna play in the first place.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that. I mean, I guess the reason's like always been obvious. It's like I suck at this, or I've been sucking at this.
Right.
So I guess that's where my reasoning comes from.
Same here. Like the things that I practice, I practice them because I feel like I suck at them. Like wet drywood, for example. I think I suck ass at that stage, so I practice it like every time.
Right.
Where I do runs.
What was the point that Lerth put up? It was pretty long.
Nature, nurture, something. You want me to read it?
Sure.
Lerthmeister says, I think nature, nurture has a big impact on anyone trying to get good. If you're in a family that is good at sports and they want you to get good at sports, it's something you'll want to strive to excel at if your free will dictates it. If it's not your upbringing impacting your passion, then it's most likely the nature aspect, aka the environment you surround yourself with. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
The skincare routine. Don't touch your face. If you want your face to be clear, people have, dude, I see it all the time. Sorry, this is like we're branching off. I think I have good advice on skincare.
I don't like to touch
okay.
my face either.
Obviously, I think some people have it worse than others. Like some people have bad acne, but an important thing is you should not touch. Don't touch. If you touch it, it just makes it worse. Like especially if you got rid of it and you're just checking. Like let's say it's on the side of your face and you can't see, you're touching it, and then you get your greasy paws on your hand. The grease gets in your pores, and then it makes it all dirty.
If you get the grease in the controller, does that improve your gameplay though?
Yes.
That's actually
Well, yeah, you're getting grease on your controller. There's grease on your, your hands are kind of a little greasy. The oily, I should say, not grease.
I was excited to hear that point. No, because I'm getting lots of acne now, or more than before, all in the sides of my face. I'm touching it right now.
Daddy, don't touch.
I touch my face a lot, and I sleep a lot with my hand on my face. So like, and all here is where the acne is. So I feel like that is why I have all this acne, because I sleep with my hand on my face like this. Just touch the oil, touching my skin all the time.
Dude, you oil yourself up.
Oh man.
And also, if it's like really bad, acne wipes. I've had great success with acne wipes. Like
Acne
every night
wipes.
before you go to bed. Yeah, you can get them at the store. It's like a little tube thing. You screw it off, and they're like moist pads, and you just wipe up your face.
I use moist pads for something else.
Right.
Yeah, tell us about it. I'm very interested.
I use wet wipes for my ass. It's a good strat. If you want to
Wet
clean
wipes
ass,
are actually really good.
Yeah.
If you
it feels really good to wipe with them.
Toning pads.
Well, one thing you don't want to do though is you don't want to wipe your ass with a wet wipe and then wipe your face with it. Do not do that. It's gross.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were, synchronated.
I thought they were interchangeable, especially after you use one for your whole cartilage.
Yeah, there's that too, Star. Okay, I never heard of acne wipes. Don't think they had them here, but whatever. Okay.
All right. Well, to direct this back.
Oh, I just plugged up my headphones accidentally.
Were we talking about live egg? Live fucking egg?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I concluded my point.
Okay.
On that, I don't know what you have to say about that statement.
No, I think we covered a lot. I think that was a good like tirade we just went on about improving and factors that influence improvement and whatnot.
Agreed.
There was one. I guess I didn't really answer the question about how to get creative with practicing. There's definitely times, like especially when you're starting out with something, is you don't know where you're losing time or where you're, messing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you did, you'd fix it, right? So in that regard, you have to find a way to figure out where you're going slow, and at least in speedrunning, the way that you can do that is if you can either watch gameplay from other people, but a thing that I recommend to people is you take your gameplay and you take somebody else's gameplay that's faster or like a better segment, and you watch them side by side, and you'll see before your eyes like what part you're losing time.
I was just about to bring that up. I've done this recently with like single star XCam times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, it helps a lot. Like you see it, you can see exactly where the time loss is happening.
But I compared my recent Womps Fortress 100 coin time to D whatever's time, and most of the time is when he grabbed the blue coin from the piranha plant.
Really?
And like I noticed what he did. He did like, you know how you do the long jump and you bounce off the piranha plant and then you do the wall kick.
Mm-hmm.
When he did, in order to do like an optimal wall kick there, you don't want it to be if the wall kick is too low, like you basically just like tap A and don't hold it after the wall kick. You can actually like go too fast, so you just miss the blue coin because of it. But if you hold A and your jump is too big, then that's just slow. Yeah. So what you want to for that wall kick, for example, this is just an example, but like you want to hold A just like a little bit, not too little or not too much, and you can do that start optimally. And that's what he did in his time. And in my time, I held A I just held A. My jump is clearly massive, and I lost quite a bit of time on it. So if you do like a side-by-side comparison, like I did, you can just really like pick up on stuff like that. If you just sync them up side by side, they start at the exact same time.
So it's a lot about, it's basically grabbing the blue coin and when you jump to it optimally. That's what it is.
Yeah. Like if you go too fast, you just miss it. If you go too late, you just grab it late. I mean, it's kind of obvious,
right?
Actually.
So not only would the wall kick be a factor, wouldn't also like what you do after the wall kick be a factor, like how you turn around and walk through the plank, as well.
I mean,
that's
when we did the wall kick and we like turned around on the plank, all that was like about even.
Okay.
It's just his actual wall kick. He didn't hold A as long as I did, so he did that part way faster.
Okay, interesting. We're talking about once 100 reset.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
welcome
good point.
to the fridge, Bob.
Richard Sage with the 10 years. Welcome back to the, what is it? The Cyclops Society.
The Negative Dick Club. Yeah.
Welcome to this, what is it? The Talented Young Scuba Diving Association. All right.
Club.
Okay.
Bob.
All right. So, are there any more major points do you guys think that exist in the idea of mastering a speed game that we haven't touched on?
I want to ask about breaks. Like, how many breaks have you guys taken? / how long were the breaks from Mario?
I've taken 1 billion 1 month plus breaks.
Right.
One thing that I'm very guilty of doing that I don't really think you should do as a speedrunner is frequently taking like a month or longer off of your game, because what I would do is I would kind of get in like a cycle. Like I legit wouldn't play the game for like a month or two, and then I'd play it, and there's like a de-rusting process you have to go through. And I would take a while to get de-rusted. I would do runs for a little bit, and then I would just quit again. But the problem with that is that if you don't take long breaks like that, then you don't really have to go through a de-rusting process. And it's just like if you do what I've done, it's not like efficient. But I'm also not saying that if you absolutely don't want to play the game, then you shouldn't force yourself, of course.
I agree.
Yeah.
Breaks. I took one really long break. The first break I took actually was a really long break. It started in October 2015. Right before LBLJ became a thing actually, which was in December of 2015, which simply started doing it first, and then I jumped on the boat. And then Puncay started in late December 2015 doing LBLJ. I can't
believe you remember this.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Did we both beat your time or something?
What?
When you take a break?
I can't remember. No.
I don't think I beat Cheese,
no. I took a break in October 2015. I actually learned Banjo-Kazooie 100% in that time when the route was way older and different.
You learned to run and then never did it.
Yeah, I learned it and never did. I was going through like depression and weird stuff. I didn't want to speedrun. Took a break from Mario in October. Came back in December 2 months later for like a week doing LBLJ. But I just didn't feel it. Stopped again. Started doing OOT January 2016. That's when I started dabbling in OOT. Learned 100% after doing No I Am the Wrong Word for like a month. Did like 3 months 100%. Came back to Mario in April. And that's when I broke Puncay's world record, which he had for a long time, the 140.44. And I got world records like 2 days in a row. I got 140.34 and something else, 140.29 or something. So I basically took a break from like October 2015 all the way to April 2016, which was like 7 months. That was pretty much the biggest break. And then other than that was a few smaller breaks in the past year or so, like months off. Oh, last year in October again, actually. I played OOT for like 3 months until the end of December. So that was another one. Other than that, I think I've been playing since I started.
Okay. Do you think that breaks are essential? Like if you're gonna be playing if you're trying to go at it for a really long time, like just playing the same game, do you think there's just you're always gonna reach a point where you need to take a break, or like what I guess what causes them, and how do you think you can avoid that if possible?
How you can avoid what?
Taking breaks, or do you think that they're like a part of the process?
I feel like the reason people take breaks is because they just don't feel like running the game at the moment. Like it's in my opinion, it's better to take a break and come back strong instead of like forcing yourself to play and feeling miserable.
Yeah.
That's why I've taken so many breaks. I didn't want to play, so I didn't. I mean, there's like no shame in it. You just gotta do what you gotta do, really.
I agree. I think breaks are quite important. At least when you've been playing for a really long time, like us, since we've been playing for like 4 years plus. Yeah, breaks are definitely an important thing. Can't not take a break.
Yeah, dude, that's an interesting thing. Like how you come back from a break stronger. Like after you derust, you have to derust, of course, but after the derusting, it's like you have your fresh mindset. You aren't caught up in the same problems that you had before, whatever they were. Like the mental part is just completely clear, and it helps so much. Like anytime I've come back from a break, I just go Super Saiyan. I know you guys have experienced that too.
That's a good point. Like breaks can just straight up help your gameplay, but like believe it or not.
Yeah.
I think they do. At least when I've taken breaks, I always feel like I come back stronger. I think all of you, I think both of you guys do feel the same way as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
So basically, if you're speedrunning a game and you absolutely don't feel like playing, like there's no shame in it. Just take a break for a while, and you'll know when to return. Like you just get like that itch to like speedrun again, and when you get that, just return.
A lot of people on Twitch and the community freak out though when speedrunners take breaks. They can't handle it. They think
it kind of triggers me when like me and Cheese, for example, aren't playing the game, and then everyone's like SM64 is dead, but you have people like BG and Tago like doing runs.
Yeah. Oh, not only that, they just think that you quit, you know, and they freak out. They're like, "Holy shit, why is Cheese not playing Mario anymore?" Right? I'm so confused, you know. Like, isn't that his game? It's like, yeah, of course, but you gotta remember that we put so much work in this. Sometimes we just need a little time off.
My favorite meme is when I looked at your stream the other day, and you start your stream, you're playing PUBG, and the first few messages or something like, "When's Mario?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you've been going off on the PUBG. The fiend. Those dinners.
I just want a solo dinner. It's too hard.
Have you gotten one yet?
Nope.
Dude, it's so hard.
Every time we play duos or squads, dinners all the time, but no solos.
It's hard.
Yeah, so let's talk about Puncay though. Like getting a PB. Like Scott Barnes said, Puncay could get world record any day now. How do you feel?
The thing is that requires a good upstairs, and because upstairs involves what drawer world, I don't know if I can.
Okay, but how do you feel in general though about going for world record? Do you feel confident? Do you think you could snatch it soon?
I can definitely get it now. Whether or not I get it soon, I don't know. But if you got like a mid or low 138, the Pocket should be used on stream for sure.
Deployed.
Like I wouldn't be able to like beat that for a long time. Like I don't even know right now if I could get a 138. Like maybe, but if I could, it's
yeah, you can.
Let's say I happened to let's say in that run I had, I did happen to pull off like 138.30 or something. Would you have tried? Do you think you would have been doing runs now trying to beat that world record?
I would still be grinding. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't just give up.
That's good. Thank God. Okay.
It would be hard as fuck to beat though, but you know, like technically, like with enough practice and time, I could do it. Of course.
Yeah, you can do it, Puncay. I believe in you. We believe in you.
Thank
Any
you.
day, baby. Any day. Keep practicing Wet Dry World, please.
I think out of all of us, the person who took the longest break was definitely Simply.
Yeah, I've taken. There's plenty of times where I quit. I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing again.
Oh, okay.
But
What brought you to that conclusion that you thought
I
you were
don't
gonna
even
quit?
remember, dude. It's like the stupid little things that happen. Like they just build up over time. And when I started playing this game when I was 15, and I feel like since then I've gotten a lot better at handling the negatives
Right.
than I was, and like they just kind of overwhelmed me. Like it really got me upset. I used to get so mad at the game, and I could just tell it wasn't very healthy or
But
good for
then
me.
you started meditating, right?
Yeah, I started meditating freshman year, and ever since then, I've gotten better and better with handling that kind of thing.
Maybe that's what every speedrunner needs to do.
Dude, I think every
Start
person
meditating.
could benefit from meditating.
Yeah.
It's just very hard to get into.
I've been wanting to get meditating for a year now because of Simply actually, and I haven't yet. It is hard.
It's hard. You got to start small. Like I started by trying to do 20 minutes every day, and I was so determined. I don't know why, but I was so determined, so I kept it up. But I don't think that's the way to do it. I think you should start with like 5 minutes a day, or even if that feels like too much, 1 minute a day, and then you slowly build it up over time.
Right.
Yeah. Richard Sage brought up something. How have you guys talked about how it impacts your personal confidence? Like now that we've all gotten to this point where we've become like somebody, or we've gotten very good at this game, do you think that because of this you're now better equipped for things in the future? And I think I am, definitely. I don't know about you
I
guys.
definitely agree. Yes, I think the same way.
I guess.
Well, maybe not confidence is the right word that I would use, but
I mean, we know that in order to get like really good at something, like we've already put in the time into it.
yeah.
So like you pretty much have to do the same thing for something else. Like we know that you have to put in the time, so you just have to like kind of do the same thing except for like something else.
I would use words like anticipation, inspiration. Definitely, those have been. I can understand more with in other things in life because of speedrunning. So anticipation in the sense that I would anticipate what will be needed, or what would be required in whatever it is that I'm pursuing in the future.
Yeah, I feel like it squashed my personal belief. Like before speedrunning, I looked at things that people were amazing at, and I was in that same boat where I'm like, it's all talent. Like, not all talent, but I was like, I can't do that. Like, that's not something I can do. And after speedrunning, I now feel like if there's something that I'm passionate about, I can get to the top. Like, I really believe that if I put in the work,
Yeah, definitely.
you can do what, as long as you're passionate. That's like, I feel like that's a precondition that's absolutely necessary. Is you
Right.
need to be passionate. Thank you for that. 5.
Thank you for the tits, little testes. Appreciate it.
Little testes.
Yeah.
That's the actual name.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's it. Okay, so shall we head into the Q&A section? I mean, we kind of are just we're already in the Q&A.
Yeah, we're
almost.
picking some.
Okay, so shall we redirect them to the Discord to ask questions?
Yeah, I have one more question though, and this is for both of you guys. What is your future in Twitch looking like? Like, what would you
On stream. My future on Twitch is to get a 138 and then just immediately Pocket News on stream.
Nice, man. I like that a lot. That's good shit. Yeah. Yeah. What do you want to do? What's other things that you'd like to do on Twitch? Like right now, of course, the focus is speedrunning, and that'll probably be your main thing for a while. But are there things that you want to branch out and do as well?
I've been interested in other games for speedrunning for so long. Like for example, I was interested in Yoshi's Island and Super Metroid, and I actually bought a Super Famicom, and that shit's been sitting in my closet for like years at this point. But Right now, I feel like if I was going to speedrun something else, it'd be either Bomberman 64 or Bomberman Hero.
Oh God. I was just watching that game recently. Actually, it looked like boot crack. But hey, man, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
It's funny. Simply was literally mentioned that game today. He was like, "What is this? This is so
Wh- wh-
bad."
Which one, like Hero or 64?
I was watching
Hero.
Bomberman Hero, and it just kind of looked. I mean, yeah, old games look like garbage, and that was not a game I grew up with. So I just like,
I grew
I
up
was just
with
hating.
both of the Bomberman games, dude.
That makes sense then.
I like those games.
Yeah, we prefer that. I mean, that's why we have that section in the Discord star to ask the questions there. So go ahead and post the questions in the Discord channel if you can.
Yeah, I'd say it's better in Discord because like if you're posting questions in chat, then they can get eaten eventually.
Yeah.
And then we have to go scroll for them. But in Discord, it's like they're permanent, and it's more guaranteed that we'll see the question. But you can post in chat if you like to. But I'd say the priority comes from Discord.
Okay, so what was the question about Twitch? The future of Twitch. Our future.
Your future in Twitch. Well, what do you see 5 years down the line? What kind of things have happened?
Well, I definitely have interests in other speed games. Odyssey is one of them. I want to start playing Odyssey as soon as I can. It's very complicated because putting a TV in my room, I don't know how I'm going to do that. But I could possibly play on my monitor if I could get a second monitor. I talked to Niker about that. That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to try Banjo-Kazooie one day as well. But I also like other things. Like I started playing PUBG recently, of course, and I've always been FPSs. I also grew up playing FPSs, and I love FPSs. It's always been a thing for me. So I would love to. I like the idea of branching out and being able to stream things like PUBG, and making that more of a serious thing as well. It's very difficult because after establishing yourself as a speedrun streamer, you know, a lot of people don't like, I don't think they do, the fact that you would start speedrunning stuff like PUBG. A lot of people in my chat are very negative about it.
Wait, did you just say speedrunning PUBG?
No, I didn't.
I thought you said
Did
that.
I?
I'm like, how do you speedrun PUBG?
I did. Did I? Streaming PUBG. And it's hard. But I feel like, you know, I just have to tell myself to ignore that and, you know, move on. But I think it's I think it'd be awesome to try that out, and why not? See where I can go from that. Yeah, I mean that's what at least that's what I have in mind for now. I think I can I mean, I'm not gonna stop streaming speedruns ever once I'm on Twitch. I think that's for sure. I don't think so.
It's too much fun, man.
What do you see yourself?
All right, let's assume that my hand does get better and I can play Mario. Just to how once I come back, I want to go really hard for 120 world record. If I'm able to get that, then I'll push that to a point where I'm happy with, because it depends on where the world record is. Like if the world record's at like a mid 138 and I beat that, then I think it'd be like, it's like, okay, now it's your move, and I'd probably go on to 70. But after that, I also have an interest in branching out. I feel like there's a lot of longevity in being I guess you'd call him a let's player, but just like playing playing games for fun, casually playing games. Like it's not something. Huh?
When's Dark Souls 3? I don't think I've seen that.
I've already beat that game, but I haven't played the DLC. So
I haven't done the DLC either. We should like race DLC or something.
Dude, I'd be down for that blind race of DLC.
How would that work? Like you just beat the game, beat the bosses.
Yeah. Beat the final boss or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, dude. There's, it definitely is hard. Like you're kind of in a box and speed running, but it's something that you're definitely able to break out of. But you really have to be big in speedrunning to be able to break out of that box. I feel like first, like let's take example for We have Witwix. Witwix was a Bashi player. He got really big from that, and then from that he was able to become like a variety streamer. You also have to be really entertaining. I feel like as a part of it, or really good. Like you need to become really good at one of the games. And then you also have Clint. Like he started with OOT, and then he was able to branch off and become, casual streamer. Trihex. So it's something that I would love to be able to do, but
I think that's really
speedrunning. Yeah, it is hard.
Simple Flips is another example as well.
I think it's so hard because not only do you have to be interested enough, but you have to think about the competition. There's like a fucking like the thing is that there's like most of the big streamers on Twitch are just like variety streamers, and when it comes to like being known because you're like really good at a game like SM64, like there's barely any people like that. So that I think that's like why we mostly have that audience, because like people want to watch like absolute like top tier like 120 star runs, for example. There's not many streams to choose from. But like, as soon as you become a variety streamer, you're like all of a sudden competing with a billion other streamers.
Yeah.
So it's just like hard. You have to like you either have to like get your fan base to like get to watch you for other things besides the game that you're known for, or you just have to build like a new audience. But I feel like if you're going to build a new audience, that would be really hard and it would take a long time, and there probably have to be like something about you that would separate yourself from other streamers, I feel like, in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe the last part's not true. I don't know. But yeah, you have to have a personality of some sort.
Well, I think another thing that makes it really hard, if you're really into speedrunning, like you're really going hard on it, it's hard to find the time to also be a variety streamer. Like it's hard to have your heart in both things at the same time. I feel like that's a hard balance.
I agree. That would be the main challenge, I guess.
Because it's like, are you a variety streamer or a speedrunner? What are you? And then, it's hard. Speedrunning's like a thing where you have to be really going ham.
Well, you could think about it this way too, where there are people like.
I feel like Cherno TV is a really good example of this because he's done speedruns of so many different games, and he doesn't excel at any of them, but like he's a variety. Not only is he a variety streamer, but he's like a variety speedrunner. Yeah. You can do both.
Variety speedrunning is one thing, but variety streaming plus high level speedrunning is what is hard. But I don't know, if you think about somebody like in the esports community, I don't know. I think Mango is a good example. Mango does high level melee, but doesn't Mango as well stream other things like variety stuff as well? I guess he's able to do that. Or somebody like Shroud, who's a top esports player and would stream other casual stuff as well. I know it's definitely possible, but I mean, you have to put your whole life into streaming. Your whole life has to be Twitch, basically. It's got to be a daily thing.
All right. Well, ready for some questions, boys?
Let's dive into it.
What size diaper does Punkay wear?
Oh my god.
First question.
All right. I gotta be honest with my fans. I don't wear diapers. I've been scanning you people this whole time. Thank you for the money, everyone. You're all human money bags. I appreciate it. I don't wear diapers.
What a guy. So how do you explain all the diapers that were laying around at the GDQs in the room?
They weren't mine. They're probably Cryptics.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. He kind of looks like a guy who'd wear diapers, so I wouldn't put it past him. All right. Are you able to see questions, Cheese, or you want me to read them?
I have them here too.
Okay.
You can go ahead and read it.
The Nut says, "How do you deal with anger when speedrunning, especially in such a competitive and optimal game like SM64?"
Because when I picture myself using the pocket noose, that's bad because I die.
There you
That's how I
go.
do it.
There's the answer.
Okay. That's a good motivation right there. Just think about the pocket noose, and then you should be good. It's something that, like, if it gets to that point, it's tough. Cheese, I think, would be able to answer this question well.
Yeah, I have a first-hand experience in lots of explosive anger in speedrunning. Okay.
That's a good one.
Well, I think first of all, learning to deal with the anger in the first place takes a lot of not being able to deal with it first. So I think you first start off getting angry for a long time and not knowing how to deal with it, and then after that experience, then you learn how to deal with the anger. Apart from that, we mentioned this before, and Punky talked a lot about it too, on accepting the fact that you're human and you're gonna make mistakes, and you have to get past the mistakes and just keep going. And but the thing is that kind of stuff just takes so long. It takes years of experience to really get used to that. And then the anger just gets less and less. It just decreases, really. You get less and less triggered, I guess. And when you do, you're able to handle it better.
Yeah. It's like you can't let it cloud your vision.
Right.
And if it's really bad, then I'd recommend taking a break. Like there's plenty of times where I've been streaming runs, and I don't really deal with anger much anymore. It's more like disappointment or like getting tired of it.
Right.
And in those scenarios, what I do is usually I'll take a break. Like there's moments where you reset and you're like, I really don't want to do another run, and you're like, okay, well I should just end stream. But I've found that in those situations, just taking a step back, breathing, and at least in my scenario, helps a lot. Walking around my house, something like, think about somebody who works. You have 30-minute breaks to keep your focus like centered, right? There's a mandatory, like, you need at least a 30-minute break, and you probably get more breaks than that to keep your focus. But a lot of speedrunners will just sit there and keep going, and you don't even stop. Like, you'll go to the bathroom and then you come back. But I think it's important to, like, people understand you take a 5-minute break, 10-minute break.
Yes. I don't do that enough. I gotta do that more often.
It's hard to do because you are also at the same time you want to do another run, but sometimes it's more worth it to take a 5-minute break than it is to reset for 5 more minutes.
Agreed.
Breaks can be important, like you said, when you're doing runs for like hours straight. Sometimes just refreshing.
Okay. Spling asks, what is your proudest moment / best achievement in your speedrunning career so far?
I actually don't know. Honestly, probably when I beat Ceramic.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think that was a good one.
Back in the day, like people legit thought he was unbeatable. No one would beat him.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. That was an eye opener, I think, for the whole community.
I should add that not only did I beat him, but I improved the world record by over a minute after that.
Right.
Dude, you bopped him.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that he pretty much didn't compete with me because he like quit as soon as he got 143. But like his heart just wasn't in the game anymore. Like he felt done with the game, so he quit. There's no shame in that. Like it's just if he played at that point, he probably would have been forcing himself to play, and that's not something you should do. So yeah. I can respect his decision. If you don't want to play, then you just shouldn't.
How about you, Cheese?
So everyone would think that the 139 would be my proudest moment. But I actually think that my Greatest achievement. All right. Well, my proudest moment was when I first got world record. The 141.17. Because it was just like the first world record is just the most. It just has to be the proudest moment. You feel the most proud. You feel like, you know, you get world record. It's crazy, and the fact that it was such a big world record by almost a minute was quite insane to me. But best achievement in general, I actually don't think it's the first 139. For me, it was the 139.28, the PB after the 139.57. Because I just love destroying Punky, you know, a day after he took my
Dude,
work.
that was so crazy.
No, I'm just kidding. It's probably because of the fact that the first 139 was barely 139. It was like 3 seconds off of 139, and the fact that I knew that I could have gotten a lot better run. I was so happy with the 139, but it was so long that I took to get the 139. I already felt like, okay, I know I can get a good one, a big PB. So I was like, you know, I got the 139. I was like, okay, fine, but I could do a lot better than this, you know. And then right after that, soon after that, I got the 139.28, and the 139.28 really felt like it was the run I was waiting for, and that's why I feel like it was my proudest moment. I just felt like this run is insane. Oh my god, I felt like I finally did it then. How about you, Sim?
I think the 143.10.
Yeah,
That was like my I'm really in this bitch moment.
that run was insane.
It was at the time it was an insane run, like insane pace, and then I was able to keep it cool and tippy, and I clutched it out. And that was my highest ranking moment in Mario thus far. Second place, baby.
You were. I was third back then, I'm assuming.
No, you were first.
You were first.
You had like a mid 142. Cheese had like a 144.
Yes.
Thank God, because I just thought of Simply having a better time.
Yeah, Simply actually never beat you.
Yeah, I've never been in front of Punkay. I'll get it soon.
You could have done it if your wrists weren't fucked. You had like pretty spicy movement.
Yeah. All right. It sounds like so. Cheese, do you have a race?
Yeah,
you have to do right now.
I gotta do my race against Parakusu right now. I didn't realize it was so late.
I don't know if you guys saw Mario Fan's message, but he said Simply's greatest moment was inventing ass butter, and
that was one of the moments that crossed my mind. But
pineapple on pizza, yeah or nay?
No.
I just yeah.
Why would you do that to a pizza?
Sorry, I'm very sorry.
Come on, dog.
All right, well
There's more questions, but I think it's more important that you race right now.
Okay. Well, I think this was definitely the most exciting episode for most of my viewers, because most of my viewers love Mario 64, and this is all about Mario 64.
Funkay, do you want to commentate this race?
I don't know how I would commentate. I feel like it'd be so bad.
Dude, just go along with what Simply says. Just like feed off of Simply's shenanigans.
Yeah, I guess I could do commentary with Simply.
Nice.
Hey.
So Punkay, any last words for the chat? Any
I'm gay. I'm really gay.
That's what I thought. Perfect. All right.
Yay.
So everyone go follow Puncayshun at twitch.tv/Puncayshun.
I made a little cute message.
Your Twitter's the same, right? Twitter's also
my Twitter's the same, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, go and watch this guy take my world record. It could be any day now. And then I'll just come back and take it back. Yeah.
if you take it back in like under 24 hours again, the Pocket News will actually be used in stream.
Impossible.
All right. I'm Simply, and it's been a pleasure having Punkay Jones. Thank you so much for joining us on the Two Dads podcast. It was actually really good. I really liked what we talked about. I felt like we hit a lot of interesting points.
I like the podcast. Maybe I could return after a while.
I definitely talked about everything that I think we covered all topics that I thought that we were going to talk about. Yeah. I'm really content. Almost 3 hours. Another really long. My heart. This is almost the same amount of time that we took with Nicro, almost 3 hours.
Yeah, could have kept going, but you kind of are a dumbass.
Yeah. All right, everyone. All right. So how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna stream. Just keep streaming and stream the race, I guess, and they'll just capture from my gameplay.
Yeah, but we're gonna head over to the Discord server. So
All right.
it's been a pleasure. Next week we have Shift, so we'll be talking with Shift. I don't know what about yet. Come up with something, but he plays SpongeBob.
I mean,
so
all about
cool.
SpongeBob and all that stuff.
Yeah,
You should definitely ask him how he got into SpongeBob speedrunning.
That would be interesting.
that's like the bread and butter.
I'm actually like really curious how he got into that.
Me too. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll be back next. Well, we will confirm in the Discord channel probably like tomorrow or something. If it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday, we might change the podcast day to Tuesday or another day because
Mondays have clearly not been working out too well.
Yeah. But we'll get back to you probably tomorrow on that. All right.
Well, good luck in your race, Cheese. Let's go, Punkay. Bye. Go to Speedgaming, twitch.tv/speedgaming.
See ya.
Watch the race.
Goodbye.